John Drury and Denise Cannon with a complete Chicago report. Nightly on the 9 o'clock news.
It's become a dumping ground for debris from throughout the Chicago area. I'm John Drury. Watch O'Hare, airport or dump, tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
From Atlanta, Georgia, it's Major League Baseball. Our Chicago Cubs facing the Atlanta Braves.
Participating advertisers in Cubs baseball are Budweiser, the king of beers and proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. For all you do, this Bud's for you. True Value Hardware Stores. True Value, more than just a name, it's their way of doing business. Toyota Motor Sales and your Toyota dealers. Union 76 and your neighborhood Union 76 dealers who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. Canon, so advanced, Canon is the world's leader in 35mm photography. United Airlines, people who fly for a living choose United. Zenith and your Zenith dealers who are moving television into the future. McDonald's Restaurants of Chicagoland and Northern Indiana. Together, McDonald's and you. This copyright telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has the right of approval of the announcers, and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is prohibited.
If you're looking for something new, it's happening down at Wrigley Field.
This Monday, Memorial Day, United Airlines is making a stopover at Wrigley Field when they sponsor Sports Bag Day. Everyone 14 and over can take off with a great-looking Cubs sports bag free. So come to Wrigley Field Monday. You don't want to lose this luggage.
Everything's coming up roses at your Ford dealer with fun-loving Mustang convertibles, exciting Thunderbird turbo coupes, new 84 front-wheel drive Tempos, quality by Ford, built in America, Bronco 2, a trim-size 4x4 at an easy-to-take price. To introduce you to these new Fords, 10,000 Ford cars and trucks are on sale. Low prices, high trade-ins. It's your Ford dealer's Everything's Coming Up Roses event, and now.
It's free. Take a test drive. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Get low financing or cash rebate through May 31st.
Don't be lured by Commodore and TI's low-price computer keyboards. You're not getting the whole picture. If you want a complete home computer system, the price will pile up fast. Introducing the Aquarius home computer system from Mattel Electronics, a complete system for hundreds less. It comes with all this and an amazing feature no one else has, a 13-inch color TV for just $99. Buy the Aquarius system by June 20th. We'll send you a $300 color TV for $99.
To everyone who's got the heart and courage to go the distance, this Bud's for you.
Thank you, Mom.
Just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
It's a beautiful night for baseball. Hello again, everybody. This is Harry Carey with Steve Stone. We're at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, where the Cubs will be trying to make it 2 in a row in this series and 4 straight overall. And they've really got the Braves and this town talking to themselves they look in the standings and they believe what they say, and they can't figure out how the Braves could lose to a team that lowly in the standings.
Well, Harry, I saw a sportscast today, and they were making an editorial about how the Braves could lose to the Cubs, but we've played some pretty good baseball against this team, and we're facing Pascual Perez again tonight. He's 5-1 in the one game he lost to Chuck Rainey at our ballpark. Should be a good matchup. The Braves have not hit a home run in 10 ball games. Here's hoping they wait to break out of it till we leave town.
No particular change in the Cubs lineup tonight, with the exception of Ron Cey back in the lineup. And Junior Kennedy is giving Ryan Sandberg, who's been playing a marvelous second base defensively, but having a little trouble with the bat. And manager Lee, you think maybe a night off might help him.
And Jay Johnstone is moving up into the number 2 spot, and he hit a home run yesterday. He seems to be swinging the bat well, especially as the weather gets warmer, so we'll generate some runs tonight, I believe.
Hey, Arnie, as long as you're up here, why don't you do something? Let me have that big bag. You know, Monday, when the Cubs open up their homestand against Houston at Wrigley Field, it'll be Big Bag Day. And when we say Big Bag Day, this is what we mean. You could put almost the family utensils, including the car, in this thing. And I know it'll be terrific for the youngsters because they can carry their books and what have you. It has the insignia of the Cubs on it. Really a tremendously practical gift. And yours for absolutely free if you're over 14 years of age. That's a new twist.
Well, it should be good. We're hoping a good crowd when we get back home. We're going to be home for 2 weeks, Harry. See a lot of good baseball, and right now we've got the Braves to contend with.
You know, talking about over 14 years of age, that's like saying it's going to be warmer near the lake on the weathercast.
Well, we're hoping for good weather. I talked back to Chicago today, and they said that Monday's going to be a nice day, a good day to come on out.
All right, time for the lineups now and the play-by-play. For the Cubs, Larry Bowen, the leadoff spot. Playing shortstop, of course. Jay Johnstone batting second in left field. Bill Buckner at first base hitting third. Leon Durham will be in center field hitting fourth. Ron Cey back in the lineup at third base hitting fifth. Keith Moreland batting sixth in right field. Jody Davis, who comes from Gainesville, Georgia, which is only about 40 miles away. He has 46 passes here tonight. I guess that's the whole town. Jody Davis, the catcher, batting seventh. Junior Kennedy at second base hitting eighth. And Chuck Rainey, who has won 4 and lost 4, will be the pitcher. For the Braves, the Chicagoan from Libertyville, Brett Butler leading it off in left field. Rafael Ramirez at shortstop. Claudell Washington in right. Dale Murphy in center. Bob Harner at third. Chris Chambliss at first. Glenn Hubbard at second base. Bruce Benedict, who I think is leading the league in hitting now in the National League. Now he's second to Madlock. Benedict hitting .333, the catcher. And Pascual Perez with an earned run average of 2.29. He has won 5 and he has lost 1. And as Steve mentioned, that lone loss was to the Cubs. And the reason he lost it, Cey drove in a run in the first inning, and Durham hit a homer with a man on a little bit later on in the ballgame. And they won by the score of 4-3, the Cubs did. The Cubs trying to keep their string perfect against the Atlanta Braves. In a game underway already, Minnesota in the first game of a doubleheader, trailing 4-1. At the end of 5, have now tied it up 4-4 in the 6th. And Minnesota club is remarkable. Hey, I want to try some out on you as the umpires come out, who will be Crawford behind the plate, Harvey at first, Dale at second, and Pulley at third. I had an interesting observation thrown at me. A guy walks up to me here in Atlanta, a very well-known sports figure, too, by the way, and he says to me, he says, Harry, he said, what's this bull about baseball having a new commissioner? Well, I said, yeah. I said, everybody knows they're going to have a new commissioner. He says, that's a lot of baloney. He said, that's the biggest con job ever. He said, you notice every time a name comes up that's supposed to be considering, like, for example, that Jack Valente, who's head of the motion picture industry, his name came up. Bud Selig went in to see him. The next day, he said he was not interested. And then William Simon was supposed to be the hottest man in the world to take over the baseball commissioner's job, and he had already voiced a definite interest. Bud Selig from Milwaukee goes in to see him. The next day, he says to me, this guy, you notice the next day after Selig sees him, they drop out. He says, you know who Bud Selig is, don't you? I said, of course. He's president of the Milwaukee Brewers. What else has he said? Well, I don't know. He said, isn't he the only friend that Bowie Kuhn has in baseball? Isn't he the guy who's represented him in all these things? Isn't he the guy who fought to keep him as commissioner? I hesitated a moment. I said, come to think of it, yes. Well, he said, what does that tell you? Well, I said, what do you mean? He said, well, what it tells me is, he says, that nobody's going to take the job as long as a guy like Bud Selig is going to present it to him. So there's a thought. But whatever the case, it's funny how these things come to you from such unexpected sources. The Braves have just taken the field. This Perez couldn't find the ballpark, Steve, but he sure knows what to do with the baseball.
The only thing that's been able to stop Pascual Perez this year has been a staph infection in his forehead. He was put or sidelined from April 26th to May 7th. Then he lost the ball game to us, but he's thrown the ball very well. He came over from Pittsburgh in a trade for Larry McWilliams, in really a trade that has helped both ball clubs, for us McWilliams has given Pittsburgh some good solid pitching, and Perez, after spending all or parts of 7 seasons in the minor leagues, has come on and established himself as one of the finest right-hand pitchers in the National League.
Columbus Hospital will be staging its annual kilometer caper Sunday, June the 12th at 8 in the morning from the Diversey Harbor Yacht Club in Lincoln Park. Ferguson Jenkins will be the official starter for the 3.1-mile and the 6.2-mile races. They expect 1,000 runners for the annual event, with all proceeds going to the hospital to improve patient care. So there's an acknowledgement of the kilometer caper. But Ferguson Jenkins will be the official starter out. Larry Bowa ready to start this ball game. Hitting .273 for the year. The Cubs have played 40 games. Bowa high tab right back to the mound. That's going to be easy. On the very first pitch. One out. Have we had a leadoff man get a base on balls yet? I'm sure we have. But it seems like everybody swings at the first pitch. Before you sit down, you got usually one out. You know, Bo, a year ago at this time, at the end of 40 games, Ned Coletti has some interesting statistics worked out for us. Larry was only hitting 183 a year ago at this time. This year, he's hitting 273. A year ago, Larry had no home runs. This year, he's got 2. Here is Jay Johnstone. The pitch. High and wide. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strike.
And what we're going to see from Perez tonight is a good, hard sinking fastball in the low 90s, a good, hard slider, and usually pretty good control.
The delivery. Swings on the 2 ball, no strike count, and fouls it off. Johnstone's home run last night was the 98th of his career. His career has lasted about 18 years. Doesn't have 100 yet. Now you can appreciate guys like Henry Aaron and Willie Mays. Here's a pitch fouled off. Ground ball goes right through Fred Canning's leg. One out. Nobody on. Jay Johnstone leading it off. One away. Not leading it off. Up there trying to become the first base runner. Popped it up. That wouldn't be a home run in a phone booth. Ramirez is there, and he has it. 2 up, 2 down. This guy is tough. If you beat him, you're going to have to get a well-pitched game. And, of course, we got a guy who's been pitching well for the Cubs, Chuck Rainey, going. Here's Buckner. A year ago at this time, in contrast to Boa, who's on the plus side over a year ago, Buckner's very much on the minus side. Strike call. A year ago at this time, he was hitting .279. This year, .239. A year ago at this time, he had 2 homers. This year, none. 19 RBIs. This year, 13. 1 strike and nothing. Look out! Fastball high and tight, and down to the dirt goes Buckner. I guess that's the kind of a pitch you, as it's coming towards you, you're wondering, hey, did I pay my insurance policy?
Well, every year as you get a little bit older, you wonder if the reflexes are still there. Bill won't have to ask that question anymore. He got down in a hurry.
Well, ball and a strike. A little bit low, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike, 2 men around, nobody on. The ball game of the first inning. Beautiful evening here in Atlanta, Georgia. They call it, hey, look at that streamer up there. Skip Carey and Russ Spooner, mornings, WSB. There's a strike call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A plane flies overhead with an advertising banner. I wonder if he's put me in his will. 2-2 pitch. Bill Buckner trying to get hold of it. Bouncing ball up the middle. Ramirez, nice play. And the throw. Safe. He beat it out. An infield hit for Buckner. That was a high hop for Ramirez. Made a pretty good play. And Stevie just barely juggled a little bit.
Let's watch it again right here. He gets a pretty good high hop. Ramirez comes over. There you see him having a hard time getting a handle on the ball, and Bill Buckner, smelling this base hit, ties the throw at first base. The tie goes to the runner, and Buckner winds up with the first hit of the ball game.
And Buckner now 4 out of 6 in the series. Here's Leon Durham. In there, a beauty, a strike call, a slider. 1 strike and nothing. Minnesota's tied up Detroit 4-4. First game of a doubleheader. 2 out, a runner at first. That evens a count, a ball and a strike.
And with Ron Cey now hitting behind Leon Durham, Leon should start seeing some pitches. He's been walking a great deal, 28 on the year. With a guy to protect him, he'll see some fastballs in the strike zone.
Bouncing ball. Yeah, force out. I don't think he could have thrown out Durham. But Hubbard, very wisely, with knowing he had a sharp play in front of him, threw to Ramirez to get Buckner on the force play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the first, no score.
Right now could be the best time to make your best deal on an '83 Toyota truck. Your Toyota dealer's got 14 tough models. Every one is the same price as the '82s, except diesel, its price went down. The Toyota Standard truck, the lowest priced Toyota truck, has the same powerful gas engine, 3 across seating, same big payload as Toyota's other 2 buys. Don't let your Toyota truck get away. Make your deal now. Your Toyota dealers got it right.
Item 12. You daily game balls, be advised of our double-digit comrades here for the new Lotto lottery game. Lotto. What's a lotto? One plays by selecting 6 numbers on the wager slip for an exceedingly large sum.
Some guy in New York won $5 million.
You see, the Lotto top prize keeps growing until some fortunate individual wins. Okay, let's roll. And, let's be careful out there.
Lotto. It's a whole new ball game.
For comfort, performance, and savings, see Sportmart's full selection of Dexter golf shoes. Wear the golf shoes Tom Watson wears. Dexter.
For sports, it's Sportmart.
Harry Carey and Steve Stone as we go in the bottom of the first inning. You know, Steven. The Cubs are 14-2 in games they lead going into the 7th inning. They are 1-17 in games they trail after 6. And they're 1-4 in games in which they're tied.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good bullpen to me, and a team that doesn't come from behind too often. The bullpen has just been magnificent. Bill Campbell has thrown great. Mike Crowley has been a surprise after spring training, throwing the ball like we knew he could. And Lee Smith, except for the last time out, has been close to untouchable.
Here we go with Brett Butler from Libertyville. He had a couple of doubles last night. He's 4 out of 6 against the Cubs. Pitching this year. Batting .246, no homers, 10 RBI. There's a fastball a little bit high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Lovely evening indeed. Next Monday afternoon, the Cubs are at Wrigley Field. Slice foul, trying to hit it to the opposite field. And they play him to hit over that way. John Stone is over near the line as if he were a pull right-handed hitter.
However, Leon Durham is straight away center field, and Harry, it's particularly tough for a right-hander to beat this Atlanta club in their own ballpark. 13-3 against right-handers at home.
And the pitch. Popped it up. Larry Boa on the grass. Makes the catch. Butler popped to Boa, one away. That'll bring up Rafael Ramirez, who had 2 out of 4 the last time he faced Rainey in Chicago.
Ramirez is 3rd in the league in hits. He's got 53, and he trails Dickie Thon and Ron Oster.
1 out. Here's Ramirez. The pitch is outside. Who do you think is the fastest working pitcher that you know of?
I always thought it was Fergie or Carlton.
How about in the American League?
McGregor is one of them, certainly.
Yeah. A ball and a strike. Bouncing ball to Bowie. Has to back up. That's going to make it a tough play. He gets him anyhow. Ramirez bounces out. Bowie elected to retreat on the ball rather than charge it. And that made it an even tougher play.
Watch this throw right here. Larry hardly can get his body behind the ball and makes a phenomenal throw. Ramirez can run. This was a fine play.
2 out. Larry did it that time with his quick release. The ball kind of floated over to Butler. He got it away quickly. And that's what beat Ramirez. Claudel had a cut. Claudel is 1 out of 4 against Rainey this year. 2 men around, nobody gone. Slow curve. The Atlanta Braves have hit 31 homers, and the Cubs have hit more. 32. That surprises you, doesn't it? Ground ball. Pass Butler, who dived for the ball, couldn't reach it. And just like last night, Washington with 2 out in the first inning, singles to right. Here's Dale Murphy. Murphy was 1 out of 3 against Rainey in Chicago.
And Harry, they've got 5 guys in their lineups with hitting streaks. Ramirez with 11, Washington now with 6, Murphy with 6, Horner with 7, and Benedict with 9.
Dale Murphy waiting. Throw to first, a running back. Well, I see Mel Hall playing in Midland. Had another homer. 2 out of 3 last night. He's trying to prove to them that he's ready to go into the regular lineup. He's played 2 games after the long layoff. Had 5 hits in the 2 games and 2 homers, and last night he scored 4 runs. A pitcher of the future for the Cubs, Don Schultz, won last night. Pitched a complete game. Don Schultz, Chicago area boy. He's a year or so away, but he's going to be a good one. The pitch. Swings and he fouls it off. He took something off in his curveball, and Dale Murphy was a little bit out in front.
That's the type of pitcher Chuck Rainey has to be. He's got a good sinker, and he's got to change speeds a lot. Location as well as speed. You see him throw that good off-speed curveball. He's got a pretty good straight change. Strike 1 to Washington was a good straight change. He tries to keep his breaking ball down. On the nights that he does, he's successful. And he's going to have to watch Claudell Washington at first base. He's got 9 stolen bases to tie for the lead on the club.
There's a throw to first. Rainey has allowed 6 home runs this year. Leads the staff. There's a breaking ball low and away. And that evens a count, a ball and a strike with 2 out. Runner at first base. The outfield deep everywhere. This guy hits them everywhere. He's hit home runs to right field as well as to left, as well as to center. There's a drive, way back. It bounces over the wall. We get a break. We get a break because Claudell would have scored easily, but this way he has to go back to third base. A ground rule double.
And you just saw what makes Dale Murphy so tough, the ability to take the ball on the outside part of the plate and hit it with power to right field. As we take a look one more time, it's a sinker, and he actually inside-outed it. The ball was on the inner portion of the plate. He hits it right here. It hits the hard dirt area and bounds out. As Harry said, we did catch a break. Washington would have scored easily. Murphy has 7 home runs out of his 11 to right field, and you see why right there.
Here's Warner now with runners at second and third. 2 out. So the Braves have a chance to give Perez a lead in the first inning. All this started with 2 out. Slider a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. The outfield deep everywhere. Runners at second and third. Bob Horner with 7 homers, 21 RBI. Strike! He went around, tried to check his swing. That's the way Moscow struck him out in the clutch last night. Same pitch.
And one of the ways he was able to do that was by shattering his bat the time at bat before. He threw the fastball inside, had Bob Horner cautious about it.
He misses with it, trying to hit that same spot. Now, because of these pitches, you can imagine the Horner might be leaning over a little bit, looking for that same slider away from the plate. Let's see how Rainey pitches it. Fastball, tried to go inside. Got 2-4 in. 3 balls and a strike. Chris Chambliss is next. Be careful here. 3 balls and a strike. 2 out, 2 on. Bouncing ball foul. And now we come down to the pitcher decision. You're watching Chicago Cubs baseball from Atlanta, coming to you through WGN Channel 9 Chicago, where immediately following the ball game, you'll see the news with John Drury. Bill Frank on sports. Three-two pitch. Hey, nice play by Sage. And the Braves are still at it, hitting line drives with men in scoring position, only to have one of the Cubs make the catch. Say jumped a little bit for that and grabbed it. Now that retires the side as we go out here. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. At the end of 1, no score.
Hey, we made the state finals, Murph. Hey, but we need some help, Nick. Oh, no problem, fellas. I'll show you my new split-finger fastball. No, I meant my dad's diesel car. After I leave Murph, so where can I find diesel fuel? Oh, Union 76 stations.
Yeah, they're all in this free 76 diesel guide.
Oh, great. Any other tips?
Yeah, remember the basics. Keep your eye on the ball.
Both of them. Both? This one and that one.
Fill her up with spirit.
Get your free diesel guide.
The spirit of 76.
Yankee Willie Randolph, he does it all. Pro photographer Fred Conrad, he catches it all with his Canon AE1 program. So advanced to capture Willie's sheer grace at second base. So much camera to follow Willie all the way home.
Hey, can I try your Canon?
Sure, it's simple. In sun or shade, it's a snap to use. The Canon AE1 program, so advanced, it's simple.
Canon, the official camera of the Chicago Cubs.
You know, during the off-season, I'm the mayor of Rush Street. But once the Cubbies take the field, I'm the mayor of Sheffield Avenue. Right, Ray?
That's right, Mr. Mayor.
And my platform, plenty of Cub victories and plenty of ice-cold Budweiser. Now, that's a winning ticket any bleacher bum can vote for.
Can a bum vote twice?
Holy cow! Why not? Cub fans, this Bud's for you.
Now, that's what I call serving the people.
Harry Caray back in Atlanta with Steve Stone as we go now into the second inning. Here's Ron Cey back in the lineup after missing a couple of games. And the pitch a little high. Cey had 2 out of 3 against the pitching of Perez and drove in a run in Chicago a week ago. Fastball is high, ball 2.
And it's a pleasure to see Ron Cey back in the lineup. He had a quadriceps muscle pull. It seems to have healed. Hopefully when he extends himself tonight on the base pass, he'll have no reoccurrence of that injury. We need him in the lineup the way he's been swinging the bat.
Ball 3 is low. The winning numbers of the Illinois State Daily Lottery and Pick 4 game have just been drawn. The winning numbers of the Daily Lottery are 919. That's 919. The winning Pick 4 numbers are 4322. The winning Pick 4 number, 4322. The winning number of the Daily Lottery, 919. High drive, center field, easy out. On 3-1, save. Flies out to Murphy. 1 gone. That'll bring a Moreland.
And I don't know how much longer these Atlanta Braves can keep hitting line drives at people, Harry, but Joe Torre has got to be beside himself in the Brave dugout. 3 ball games so far out of the 4 they've hit rockets at people. We seem to be standing in front of all of them. Hopefully it'll continue, as these guys have started to hit the ball pretty well against us.
Here now is Keith Moreland, 0 for 4, but hit the ball hard every time last night. Fastball high and inside. During our next commercial break, you'll see the drawing on the Illinois State Lottery that we just passed along to you. Again, he falls behind. 2 balls, no strikes. He fell behind Cey, 3-0, got a strike over called. Cey then flied out on 3-1. He misses with the first 2 pitches to Cey, to Moreland rather, after Cey, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. 5 of the 6 pitches he's made in this inning have been balls. There's a line drive in the center field, a base hit. Moreland singles to center. That's the softest ball he has hit these last 2 nights, and it's the only one that's a base hit. Last night he crushed the ball, but right at somebody.
And Perez made a good 2-0 pitch. It was a fastball low and away. Moreland just went down and got it. Sometimes a pitcher can make a good pitch and still give up a base hit. It was illustrated right there.
Here's Jody Davis. Struck out 3 times last night, 0 for 4. He's 1 out of 10 for the year against the pitching of the Braves. All the home folks from Gainesville, Georgia are here to cheer for him. The pitch on the way. Strikeout. Jody Davis was originally with the Mets. Then he went to the Cardinals. Then he was drafted by the Cubs. 1 strike and nothing. Inside and high to even the count. This guy can hit a home run in any ballpark, no matter how spacious, if he gets hold of it. Got great power and a great throwing arm. Double play ball to Ramirez. Out at second. Out at first. Double play. 6-4-3 made to order. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the second, no score.
Channel 9 brings you the official winning number in the Illinois State Lottery's daily game and Pick 4. Drawing tonight is Mary D., and the lottery official is Thomas Foyer, CPA with Arthur Young. These are tonight's 3 daily game machines in a randomly selected order. Each has 10 balls, 0 through 9. Drawing starts by mixing the balls in the first machine, next the balls in the second machine, and then the third machine. Now, here is tonight's first winning daily game digit. And the first number is 9. Tonight's second winning digit is 1. The second number is 1. And the third and last digit is 9. So for tonight, May 27th, 1983, the official daily game winning number is 919. Now, the Pick 4 machines in a randomly selected order. The balls are mixed in the first machine, then the second machine, then the third machine, and finally the fourth machine. Now the first winning digit for Pick 4. 4. The first number is 4. The second number, 3. The second number is 3. And the third number is 2. The third number is 2. And the fourth and last digit is 2. The fourth number is 2. So for tonight, May 27, 1983, the official Pick 4 number is 4322. Join us again tomorrow night for the Illinois State Lottery's daily game, and this Saturday for the Lotto drawing for a minimum grand prize of $1 million.
For complete and updated lottery results, call Lottery Line at 976-2020.
Harry Carey and Steve Stone. The first pitch to Chris Chambliss is foul back. You know, Jody Davis was selected by the Mets in the third-round free agent draft in 1976. Then they traded him to the Cardinals for a pitcher named Ray Searage in 79. He was on the disabled list in 80. From April until June, had an operation, an ulcer operation. And that's why I guess they didn't protect him. And the Cubs then drafted him in December of 1980. That's how Davis became a Cub. Chambliss missed a curveball. Striking out. 1 away. Here's Hubbard, the second baseman. One out, nobody on. Hubbard was 0 for 4 yesterday. Hit a couple balls right on the nose, but at him, including a line drive and that really may have cost the Braves the game, being turned into a double play. Hitting .309 with 3 homers and 17 RBI. Fastball is high, ball 2.
And these guys aren't all stars when they come out of school. Glenn Hubbard was drafted in the 20th round in the June 1975 draft. A lot of clubs passed him up. He's only 5 feet 8.
There's ball 3 high, and boy, he's a tough, competitive, hard-nosed type of ball player. He beats you some way. 3 balls, no strikes. He walked him on 4 pitches. There's Bruce Benedict hitting .333. Only Bill Madlock of the Pirates is ahead of him. And that only by 3 points. He had 3 out of 4 last night. 4 out of 8 for the year against the Cubs. One on, one out. Chuck Rainey's pitch. Slider low and away.
It looks to me like Benedict's natural stroke is to right field. Would be a pretty good man to have as a hit-and-run man. Hubbard doesn't run especially well, but Benedict has good bat control.
Bruce Benedict standing deep in the batter's box. Hubbard gets back. You know, Ned Coletti was on the trip representing the publicity department. Assistant to Bob Ibach. Calls attention to the 2nd edition of the Cubs Souvenir Program magazine. There goes a runner. Swung on a bouncing ball. Left field base hit. Here's Hubbard around second on his middle third. They hit and run. And Benedict bounced the single over Say's head. Runners at first and third with 1 out. Well, they pulled a hit and run at the right time.
As we see it again right here, and Benedict pulls this ball. Larry Bowa was covering, so Benedict happened to hit the ball in the right spot. Hubbard on the go as we see him coast into third base, and there's Bruce Benedict with a 10-game hitting streak kept alive.
Not only that, but it's his 4th straight hit in the series. The only time we got him out was his first time at bat last night when Sandberg, leaving his position to go over to cover second with a runner on first breaking, ran right into his line drive, which otherwise would have been a single to center. Here's Perez, the pitcher. He's 3 out of 22 with 2 runs batted in.
You've got to be alert for the safety squeeze or the suicide squeeze right here. The difference is that on the suicide squeeze, the runner from third is going. The safety squeeze, he waits till the ball is laid down in the infield.
There's the pitch to Perez. Swung, and he missed. Foul tip. The count evens up with a ball and a strike, and Pascual Perez from the Dominican Republic really had a cut at that one. He had about 7 years in the minor leagues in the Pittsburgh organization. Pittsburgh finally traded him to Atlanta for Larry McWilliams, a left-hander. McWilliams has pitched well for the Pirates, and Perez extremely well for the Braves. The ball is bunted. The only play, first base. Oh! Rainey. Either Jody Davis didn't yell to him, or Rainey just absolutely was not thinking. He must have assumed that the suicide was on. He could have had the pitcher easily at first base, and he started to flip it to the plate.
Not much you can do in that play. All his weight was bringing him in. But you saw right there the safety squeeze. Hubbard was not coming from third. Perez put down a pretty good bunt. Hubbard couldn't come in because the ball was right in front of him. At the worst, it would have gotten Benedict to second base. Unfortunately, Perez is credited with a base hit, and the bases are loaded with only 1 out.
You know, after all those streaming line drives they have hit, now a little bunt might set the stage for a big inning for him. Bases loaded with 1 out, Butler the hitter. Fastball is high.
A difficult man to double up. Fred Butler probably runs as well as anybody on their ball club. He has only grounded into one double play all year.
The pitch. Butker throws to the plate. Force out. Nice going. That's the only way he could have prevented a run. Now, Buck knew that he had no chance to double up Butler if he tried by way of second. So very wisely fired the ball to the plate for the force out. So we still got a chance to get out of the inning.
Let's watch a good solid throw by Bill Buckner. The pitcher, first and third baseman come home on a play like this. The shortstop and second baseman try to turn two that way. As you see Hubbard trying to knock the feet from out under Jody Davis. Doesn't have to. He didn't make the return throw to first.
Here's Ramirez now. Bases loaded, 2 out. That was a big out. Fastball a little bit inside. Benedict came down the line at third base. They had 2 men on in the first inning, didn't score. They've got 3 men on in the second inning, but now they're 2 out. Oh, to get out of this jam. Whoa, wild pitch, a run score. That pitch was so wild, the ball must have just stuck to his fingers or something. Watch it.
We see the 16th wild pitch of the year for the Cubs pitching staff, which is an abnormally high amount. It was a curveball that got away from Chuck Rainey. No chance for Jody Davis to make the play. And it's a gift run, finally, that dents the scoreboard for the Braves.
That's the 3rd wild pitch for Rainey. Runners at second and third, a run home. Slider on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Ramirez, the hitter. Batting .298. No homers, 10 RBIs. And now the count evens on that foul ball. 2-2. Boy, within the last week, we've lost on a balk. We lost on a pass ball. We lose this game 1-0 on a wild pitch. Swings and he fouls it off.
Harry, this game won't be 1-0.
I don't think so either.
You have to have 2 rookies throwing to have a 1-0 game.
Runners second and third, 2 out. Hey, struck him out. So the wild pitch is the only way they got to run. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men are left. At the end of 2, the Braves won. The Cubs nothing.
This is the taste. This is the test. Pepsi versus Coke. The Pepsi Challenge. And all across America, more people pick Pepsi. Time after time after time.
Oh, what a time. It's gonna be Pepsi now. The winning taste is Pepsi. It's gonna be Pepsi now. Taste what Pepsi's giving. It's gonna be Pepsi now.
When you want professional-looking results from do-it-yourself projects, choose professional quality master mechanic tools from True Value hardware stores. Like this folding workbench with movable vise, just $49.99. Razor weld with this oxygen propane torch, just $32.99. And a master mechanic 10-gallon wet-dry vac makes cleanups easy. It's just $62.99 exclusively at participating True Value hardware stores.
Hey, listen, the Commission on Nuclear Energy, I don't care what they say.
Everybody's got something to say about energy these days.
Lady, we can go solar right now.
Unfortunately, not everybody always knows what they're talking about. That's the reason for our Speakers Bureau. Energy experts who'll talk to any group in northern Illinois. And talk facts, not opinions.
Am I right or am I right?
Call or write Commonwealth Edison and ask for the Speakers Bureau. Don't make up your mind without it.
This is Harry Carey with Steve Stone as we go into the third with Junior Kennedy leading it off. I'll tell you who that is, but I don't know.
Well, he brought his mitt to the game, Harry.
That's not all he brought to the game. Can't understand what's happening to the younger generation. There's a gorgeous blonde, and Steve can only see the glove. That's baseball. Easy ground ball. And Harner throws out Kennedy. They're here from Cicero tonight. Joe Stancato, Keith Johnson, and Howard Tucker. John Horn, a student at Georgia Tech, whose brother Jerry Horn was the Cubs bat boy, and his brother Ray Horn works at Wrigley Field. All friends of Yoshi Kawana, our clubhouse manager, attending the game here tonight. Yosh has friends all around the circuit. Rainey in the hole, 0-2. Outside. Chili Boyer in Elburn, Illinois. His daughter Beverly Boyer Hayden watching the game here. There's a smash, a base hit. That took a bounce off Hubbard's shoulder. It was really hit hard, and Rainey gets his second hit of the year in 16 times at bat.
Watch it right here. A tough play at second base. This one almost takes the beard right off Hubbard's face as it bounds up and hits him high on the chest. Chuck Rainey hit that ball very hard, credited with his second hit of the year.
One out, one on. Here's Larry Boa. Tap to the pitcher on the first pitch of the ball game. Detroit has taken the lead in the eighth over Minnesota 7-4. Boa takes a fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Perez, 6'2", 163 pounds. Looks like a bit of a string bean out there, but he throws the ball very well. He's got a very strong arm.
Pitch to Boa. Strike at the knee. He throws hard, boy. Larry Boa takes a look at the third base coach, Ruben Amaro. Strike two. They tell me Ruben Amaro's father was one of the greatest Latin American players of all time. Great hitter. Played in Puerto Rico and also Mexico. A little pop foul. He may be out of play. Nobody can reach it. He's still alive. Larry took 2 good strikes. Fastballs a little bit to the outside part of the plate. And then this one looked like he swung at a bad ball, but he got a piece of it.
And we looked at Bob Horner running down the third base line. He's got that weight clause incentive in his contract. Joe Pignatano was telling me last year they weighed him, and he gained about 10 pounds in a 2-week period, and then they weighed him again the next time, and he gained another 7 pounds. So they decided that they were going to get clauses together worth $100,000 if he could keep his weight at a certain plateau during the course of the year. And it looks pretty good, so obviously it's working.
Outside. Well, like I've always said, the ball player doesn't think any more of a dollar than you do your right eye.
That's right. Now if we can get Arnie Harris on that Bob Horner type of contract, we'll be okay.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Don't you bother my friend Arnie. He's all right the way he is. Ball! Attaboy, Larry. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Rainey, the runner at first with 1 out. Little plump people are always so good-natured and pleasant, jolly. You see all these thin guys jogging around, they never smile. 3-2 pitch. Ball, he walked him. Larry Boa. Got something we rarely get from a leadoff man, a base on ball. And the runners at first and second.
And watch Crawford right here. He wants to bring up his right arm. Watch it. No, he's not going to do it. He's going to send Larry to first base. And Larry doesn't walk too often. That's only his 9th base on balls of the year.
So here's Jay Johnstone now. The pitch. Outside, he's thrown an off-speed pitch to these left-hand hitters. And there goes Benedict out to talk to him. And here's Bob Gibson. And Gibby saw me on other occasions that Perez, once he gets cute out there, that he comes out there and say, hey, if you don't throw the ball harder than that, we're going to take you out. Then the guy goes into the high gear.
Well, he's not a Chuck Rainey type pitcher. He really can't keep the hitters off balance as a steady diet. He's got to go right at him. He throws the ball very hard. And when he lacks aggressiveness, he gets in trouble. So Gibson's reminding him, look, you were coasting along the first couple of innings, throwing the fastball to these guys. Don't get yourself in a hole throwing breaking balls. That's not your best pitch.
Jay Johnstone, who's a good low fastball hitter. Be ready, Jay. Low ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Bill Buckner on deck. Cubs are trailing 1-0. The pitch. Ball 3. Wide with the fastball. Earlier this year, they turned Jay Johnstone loose on a 3-0 count, and he hit a homer. Let's see what he does this time. We'll hope he takes it. 3-0 pitch. And Perez stepping off the mound for a moment. Beautiful night in Atlanta, Georgia. Cleveland out in front of the Angels 2-0 in the 3rd. 3-0 pitch. Line drive in the right field, a base hit. Here's a runner around third base. He is going to score as Washington fumbles the ball. Now he throws in the third base, not in time. Jay Johnstone again was turned loose on the 3-0 pitch, and again he comes through a solid single to right, tying up the ballgame.
Johnstone got what he likes best, that low fastball. He roped it to right. As we'll see right here, and you see Claudell Washington doing his Pele imitation as he kicks this ball right in front of him just a little bit right there. No chance to get Larry Bowa at third base anyway, and Johnstone is credited with a single and an RBI.
And an error charge to Claudell Washington for allowing Bowa to go to third. Here's Buckner. There's a line drive in the right center. The Cubs are out in front. Here's another runner. The ball gets away from the center fielder. 1 run is in. Another man is going to score. Buckner's on his way to third base. And it'll be a base hit, and then the ball skipped by and went to the wall.
And Harry, that was horribly misplayed by Dale Murphy. You've got to round the ball off a little bit. He ran right at the ball with no angle at all. The ball took a skip on the grass. We'll see it right here. Buckner very hot right now with the bat. Watch Murphy come over. No angle on this ball at all. The ball skips by him, just misplayed, and it goes for a triple.
And it's a two RBIs for Buckner on it. He's 2 out of 2 tonight, 5 out of 7 for the series. Here now is Durham. The infield comes in. The Cubs have taken the lead, 3-1.
And there's some action in the Brave bullpen. We can't see who it is, but it's a right-hander up and throwing.
Inside to Durham. The infield in. Leon trying to get hold of one. Here's the pitch. Inside again. Perez having trouble with his control. 2 balls and a strike.
It looks like Rick Behenna, who's up and throwing, who's been a starter most of this year. Now he's getting a chance to work out of the bullpen a little bit.
Here's Durham looking for a pitching and drive somewhere. Here it is. Oh, he chased a bad ball. Tried to check his swing, but he had gone too far. He was expecting a fastball. His swing was geared for it, and Perez took something off.
There we see Rick Behenna with Joe Pignatano standing right next to him, watching him throw.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3 is low. Rainey, Boa, and Johnstone all have scored. Buckner with the triples at third base, 1 out. Infield in. Oh, boy, he had a good pitch to hit. Just didn't get it, and he fouled it off.
And this is a big run to score because this ball club can put some numbers on the board as we look at Rube Walker right there. He's the catching half of the pitching coach duo. Bob Gibson, the other half.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Durham waiting the pitch. Struck him out on a bad ball. So this time it's Durham's turn to leave a man on third with less than 2 out.
And Leon helped out Pascual Perez right there. It was a breaking ball that he couldn't quite bring down. Leon a little over anxious. Swung at a pitch over his head and outside.
So here's Say now. Boy, that would make an interesting statistic, even though it's a negative one. And they keep the negative ones, but they don't. There's a high fly ball, left field. Well, we got that fly ball, went out too late. Butler makes the catch. 3 runs. 3 hits. 1 error, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third. The Cubs 3, Atlanta 1.
This Bud's for everyone who's got the heart and courage to go the distance. For you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
You've invested a lot in the tools of your trade. You want them to pay off. You want to keep them busy. That's why you also invest in the Yellow Pages, where your ad is on the job in homes and businesses, seen by people who want to buy what you want to sell. With all you've put into your business, your ad belongs in the Yellow Pages. It's the small investment that keeps your big investments paying off.
Get a taste of the fun at McDonald's with the McDonald's Great America Fun Buck. Free when you purchase any of McDonald's great values. From our Grade A Egg McMuffin and our delicious Quarter Pounder sandwich to Golden Chicken McNuggets and our beefy Big Mac sandwich. Every Fun Buck is good for $1 of fun here at Great America. Collect Fun Bucks and save up to $12. Now that's a Great America deal.
And a great American meal.
Great America! McDonald's and you!
Carey and Steve Stone, and we go to the bottom of the third. The Cubs are out in front, 3-1. You know, Steve, I started to mention it would be an interesting statistic to see how many of our good hitters, I'm including all of them, have left runners on third base with less than 2 out. I think it'd be a big total of men, and I'm sure you could make the same statement about every club in baseball. You know, these are the kind of statistics they keep, but the only time they use them, release them, is when they go into arbitration and try to prove that the guy isn't worth the money he's asking for. I'd like to sit in on one of those, to hear a general manager bum rap his player to try to keep from having to pay what the player wants, and then turn right around and have to get along with him after he either wins the arbitration or loses it and has to take whatever figure in either case. I think I might have ruined Bill Allman with the White Sox. He had a tremendous year 2 years ago, went to arbitration, and the management, you know, that's an open hearing where you hear what the other guy says, kept proving how lousy he was. So when the next year started, he was just as lousy as they said he had been. There's a high hop, but they're going to have trouble throwing him out. Larry fumbles the ball, knowing he had a rush, tried to field it barehanded and dropped it. A hit.
Claudell Washington's second hit of the night. And this would have been a great play if Bo was able to make it. He knew that he couldn't use the glove hand and still get a very fast Claudell Washington. He came in, tried to barehand it. Nothing doing. The ball bounced off him, and Claudell winds up at first. And you know, Harry, in this day and age of specialization, a gentleman has made a career out of using his knowledge of the players against the players. Tal Smith used to be the general manager of Houston, now has Tal Smith Enterprises, and he has saved the owners a fortune by beating players in arbitration.
Here now is Dale Murphy. A two-run lead isn't many when you see this guy step up with a man on. He doubled his first time. Double to right. Bounced over the wall. Curve inside and high, and I'm glad it was too far inside to hit because that baby hung.
Chuck Rainey's breaking pitches tonight do not look sharp. The curveball is rolling, and he tried to get a little bit more on the curveball in that one inning, and he threw a wild pitch, and you saw that one hang inside, a dangerous spot for it.
Here's Claudell Washington getting back. Bill Buckner 2 out of 2 tonight. And 5 out of his last 7 in this series. Again, he's high, but again inside, ball 2. Rainey doesn't look like one of his good days. Doesn't seem to have much out there.
You can pretty much tell if Chuck Rainey feels good about the way he's throwing the ball by how long he takes between pitches. In San Diego, he came right at the hitters. Here tonight, he's taking a little bit of time as he did the last time out.
There goes the runner. Strike. There's the tag. He's in there with a stolen ball. I thought I saw Crawford call it, raise his right hand. We'll have to wait and see. There, scoreboard operator doesn't know either. He wants a confirmation from Crawford as to whether it was a ball or a strike. It was a ball. He did not raise his hand up. He just jerked his hand.
And there you looked at the 37th stolen base by the Braves this year and the 10th for Washington.
Swung at the 3-0 pitch and missed. Bob Horner on deck. Three to 1 in favor of the Cubs. Dale Murphy, the hitter. Again, he throws that breaking ball. And again, Murphy waved at it. Full count, 3-2. The outfield deep everywhere, as you might expect. Here it is. Line drive. Left field base hit. A run will score. Johnstone very wisely fires the ball in the second base. A line drive hit like a bullet. Say might have got his fingertips on it.
And this was one line drive that was able to get over the glove of Ron Cey. Another breaking ball in the middle of the plate. Ronnie deflects it. Jay Johnstone coming in and wisely keeps the tying run off of second base by making the throw there. No chance to get Washington at home.
Boy, you look down at this, at your scorecard. You just wonder how come you're still leading. Rainey is really struggling. Here's Werner.
I'm a little surprised that nobody is up in the Cubs bullpen because Chuck Rainey is obviously throwing the ball not like the Chuck Rainey we've seen before.
Low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 3-2. The Cubs are leading. Braves have the tying run at first. Nobody out. Murphy's a good base stealer as well as everything else. Low. There's nobody in the Cub bullpen at all. Oh, yeah, there they are. On the other side of that little fence down there. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the runner back. Bob Horner. Ball 3. They're sitting down in the bullpen, but nobody is stirred. Three balls, no strikes. Way bad. Ball 4. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Now they start to move around in the bullpen. And somebody, Mike Crowley, I think, is going to get ready.
It is Mike Crowley as we look at him right there. He's one of the few rested members of the bullpen. The guy they're using for long or middle relief now. Chris Chambliss, a good man for 2. He doesn't run very well, but he does hit the ball pretty hard.
Here's the pitch. Line drive. That's going to score somebody. Rolling deep into the left field corner. 2 runs are in. Chambliss lined a double to left. And boy, that 2-run lead is evaporated in a hurry.
And someone is going to have to go out and talk with Chuck Rainey now to give Mike Crowley some time. Chris Chambliss sliced the double into the left field corner. Jay Johnstone tried to come over and cut it off, and the ball got by him. And when that happened, Bob Horner scored the go-ahead run. As we see a sinker away, Chambliss hit it in the right spot. A 2-base hit.
Rainey came up to the big leagues in 1979.
Jody Davis is out talking with Chuck Rainey right now, doing just that, giving him a little bit of time. Glenn Hubbard standing up there, and now umpire Jerry Crawford is taking the slow walk out, wanting to break this up.
Still nobody out. It's taken 4 men batting in succession and getting on base to account for 3 runs.
And here comes Lee Elia out. Is going to be all for Chuck Rainey. He's going to depart here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nobody out. Mike Crowley on into the ball game.
Tell me something, Steve. The managers play hunches. Do they ask somebody on the bench? Or do they have some other reason to let pitchers go seemingly a long time sometime? Of course, the worst seat in the house, they say, is in anybody's dugout. And that's why Lou Boudreau years ago had the idea of having a coach upstairs, because they can see, he thought, so much better when a pitcher doesn't have it than you can see down on the field. But certainly a catcher must be able to see it too.
Well, I think what the pitcher has to realize a lot of times he wants to stay in a ball game, but there's days when he just doesn't have it. And today, it was evident by the breaking balls that Chuck Rainey was throwing that there was a little bit of shortness in his stuff. And either Billy Connors or Lee Elia has to see when the breaking ball rolls, he's going to have a tough night. And that's exactly what happened tonight. There were no sharpness to his pitches. So certainly from up here we could see it. And from the monitor you could see it. And I used to always spend the night before I'd pitch in the television area and watch the monitors to scout the hitters. And certainly if you watch a pitcher from the television monitor, you can really tell how the stuff is. So it might not be a bad idea to have somebody in the locker room looking at the monitor or in the stands, as you mentioned before, and check and see just exactly how the pitcher's throwing. Today, Rainey just had a tough day, and I think Lee Elia didn't want to go to his bullpen quite this early. He knows they've been pitching a lot, but there are days when you just can't let the ball game get out of hand, and this certainly is one of them.
All he allowed was 2 hits, no runs, saved by a line drive that Say leaped to catch in the first inning. 2 hits and a run in the second inning. 3 hits and a walk here in the third inning. So in 2 full innings, he allowed 7 hits and 4 runs. And Proley, I don't think, has had a chance. He had more pitches, the legal allotment that the relief pitcher has on the mound, than he had in the bullpen.
I think Lee just waited a little bit too long to get somebody up, and then he rushed Mike in there. Mike is making his 15th appearance of the year, a 173 earned run average, 26 innings. He's given up 16 hits, 10 strikeouts, 12 walks. He's got a 1-1 record, and he's got to turn these Braves off, because when they get going offensively, they can be awesome.
Here's Hubbard now. First pitch is a wild pitch, back to the screen. That advances a man to third. Still nobody out.
We take a look at it again. A sinker right over Jody Davis's right shoulder, and we've got that one down. That's our 17th wild pitch of the year.
Oakland out in front of the Yankees at Yankee Stadium, 2-0 at the end of 1. Infield forced in now. Atlanta already leading 4-3. Another pitch into the dirt, but this time Jody was able to scoop it up. Funny game. Here's Lefferts. Pitches the other night. Really pitched a shutout, a pass ball to enable Houston to score a run, and he gets beat 1-0. Tonight, the Cubs have made 3 runs in 3 innings, and they're trailing 4-3. Swung and he missed. Atlanta Hubbard walked in the second inning. A tough hitter. Infield in, nobody out. Mike Proley. Base hit, the run is in. Hubbard singles to left. A 4-run inning for the Braves. They lead by 2. Here's Bruce Benedict. They're not booing, they're just cheering for him. Bruce. Into the dirt.
And Benedict does a peculiar thing up at the bat. He drags the bat a little bit, leaves it out in front of him while the pitcher is almost delivering the ball, then hurries up and brings it back. Take a look at it this time as we look at Benedict. Lets his bat out there, and this is for his timing.
Whoa, that foul ball bounced up and hit him in the face. Knocked his helmet off. But he's okay. Bruce Benedict, a good-looking kid. A ball and a strike. 5-3 Braves. Strike in there. 2 strikes and a ball. Bottom of the 3rd. Long way to go. There's the runner back. Montreal leading in Philadelphia 3-0 at the end of 1. That's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crowley getting away to a rough start, but he threw very little in the bullpen before he was brought in. Couldn't have made more than 4 or 5 pitches. There's a line drive, left field, going to be caught. Benedict line to Johnstone. 1 away. Here's the pitch of Perez. This is one of Perez's worst outings of the year, yet he's leading 5-3 in the 3rd. Buckner talking to Proley.
He's telling Mike to come in and get that ball aggressively. Ron Say's going to be charging, so Mike is supposed to be charging straight in. They want to try to cut this man off at second base on the bunt if possible.
The Phillies scored 1 run in their last 45 innings. Tried a bunt and he missed. Five to 3. Cubs got 3 in the top of the inning, and Atlanta's come back with 4, and they're still batting. They had 4 runs in before anybody was retired. Finally, Benedict lined hard to Johnstone. The ball is bunted. The only play first base to Kennedy from Buckner, a sacrifice.
And that was a very good bunt because Crowley was charging in aggressively, but the ball was bunted between Mike and Bill Buckner. Hubbard got the good jump off first base, leaving Buckner with no other play than to throw to Kennedy for the out.
Here's Brett Butler. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
And Harry, it's not a good omen when the leadoff hitter hits 3 times the first 3 innings.
That means that somebody's been getting on base and scoring. Butler takes a fastball low and away. They had 10 base runners off Rainey in 2 full innings. He couldn't get anybody out in the 3rd. Off of Say's glove. There's a runner stopping at 3rd base. Say might have dived unnecessarily on that. Base hit.
This is a slicing ground ball, a sinker off the bat of Brett Butler. And Ron dives and the ball goes right underneath him. Fortunately, Larry Boa is coming over very quickly to cut the ball off, and Hubbard cannot score. We've got runners at the corner with 2 outs.
I think the ball might have, maybe Say didn't see it come off the bat exactly right, because it looked like he dived too soon, where he might have been able to take a step and field it. So Ramirez comes up now. Runners 1st and 3rd. There's a pitch into the dirt. Here's the runner going to try to score, but now he goes back. Good recovery by Jody Davis. And Crowley taking the throw. Had he had eyes in the back of his head, might have gotten Hubbard, who slipped for a moment. as he wanted to stop and go back to third.
And we're still going to be credited with another wild pitch, enabling the runner to go to second base, taking the force away at second base. Jody Davis making the nice play, just keeping that ball, stopping Hubbard from scoring.
Ball inside. Ball 2. Activity in the bullpen now. Looks like Warren Brewster. There's a big man to get out. Runners at second and third. A high drive. Left center. Durham's there. He makes the catch to retire the side. 4 runs scored, though. 5 hits. No errors and 2 left. The Braves getting a big hand. Milo will be coming along to join Steve in a moment. This is Harry Carey in Atlanta. We're at the end of 3. It's the Braves 5, the Cubs 3.
When it comes to martial arts, Bruce Lee is the master. Don't miss the action when he takes on the town gang in The Three Avengers. The Three Avengers, Saturday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Take a closer look, and you'll see that front-wheel drive isn't the only great thing about this Toyota Tercel. It's just the tip of the iceberg. This Tercel is the lowest-priced Toyota you can buy. It has more room than any subcompact and gives you more mileage than ever before. The new Toyota Tercel, a new standard in front-wheel drive. But that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by these participating advertisers. The Bell System Yellow Pages. It's the small investment that keeps your big investments paying off. The Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of Chicago. And Allstate. They insure your home, your car, your health, your business, and your life. You're in good hands with Allstate. Games that we may never know from inning to inning who's ahead here, Steve.
We know there'd be a lot of offense tonight, and that's exactly how it's happened. You can't shut down these Braves for long.
And leading it off, Moreland drives a base hit into left field. So Moreland gets his second straight hit tonight. And I don't know all the secrets of hitting, but it just looks like tonight Moreland, rather than trying to drive a ball or trying to overswing, has just taken 2 good level swings, hit the ball right where it's been pitched, and has come up with 2 hits.
Well, he came out of it last night, Milo. He just hit in some tough luck, hitting the ball very well. And you can tell when a hitter starts to get his rhythm down. You can't necessarily tell by the base hits, but you can tell by the contact he's making. Moreland made good contact. Tonight he's come out with 2 hits. And Warren Brewster continues to throw in the Cub bullpen. So it looks like if Mike Crowley is due to come to bat, they're going to take him out.
He is due up 4th in the inning. And here is Jody Davis. And the first pitch to him is up high, a ball. Both bullpens are busy. Is that Behania again? Sure is. So 2 right-handers, 1 in each bullpen. And the Perez pitch is fouled way up to the left side. The good thing there aren't any clouds. That baby might have brought rain.
And Joe Torre is taking no chances with Pascual Perez. He has seen tonight that Perez doesn't have particularly good stuff. And we saw what happened when you wait a little too long with the pitcher. Chuck Rainey took a little bit more abuse than he had to in this ball game, and we're sitting with a 5-3 deficit right now. Torre will not go that long with Pascual Perez.
Last time he pitched, he had a 3-0 lead and lost it. There's a high fly ball. Center field, Murphy on. Easy play, 1 down. So Jody Davis is caught in the binds of one of those slumps right now. He's 0 for 6 in this series, and that'll bring up Junior Kennedy. He was thrown out by Horner in the 3rd inning. Atlanta led 1-0 after 2. Cubs led 3-1 after 2.5. Now here in the 4th, Atlanta leading again 5-3. Milo Hamilton with Steve Stone. Cubs television on the road from Atlanta on WGN Television 9 in Chicago, America's #1 sports station. And the news will be yours right after the game on Channel 9. Stretching, looking. High bounce. Shortstop Ramirez falls back. And they still get a double play. Unbelievable. That ball hung in the air. Ramirez had to wait for it. Hubbard did a heck of a job in the middle on that one.
The 51st double play as we take another look at it. Watch how quickly Hubbard gets rid of this ball. This should never be a double play. He gets a solid throw from Ramirez. The relay beats Kennedy at first.
So it retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, double play, nobody left. After 3.5, the Braves are leading 5-3.
Looks like a great day. What are you going to do?
Play tennis. Get a new swing set.
Anyone want to compare insurance policies? Wait. Allstate could make it worthwhile. And very easy. Just drop off your homeowner's policy at Allstate the next time you're in Sears. We've just reduced rates, so chances are you can save yourself some money. Oh, got good news for you. You do?
He does? Already?
See if Allstate can save you money. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hey, it's that time again. Time to double up on the king of beers. Summer fun calls for plenty of ice-cold Bud. Pick a pair and look for this special offer on a rugged Budweiser Olympic cooler. Perfect for holding 2 6-packs. Double up on 6-packs, 12-packs, even cases. And don't forget to send for your Olympic cooler. This Bud's for you.
Robert Blake is Jimmy Hoffa. Let's go. Introducing Cotter Smith as Robert F. Kennedy. Blood Feud. Kennedy versus Hoffa in a special 2-part, 4-hour presentation of the 10-year battle that raged across America's headlines. Blood Feud.
You got it there! And this is the face that's going to put you there! Like hell!
Blood Feud, Wednesday night at 7 on Channel 9.
As we go here to the bottom of the 4th, Washington, who started that uprising in the 3rd with an infield hit, will lead it off in the 4th. He is 2 for 2 tonight. Murphy will follow. He's 2 for 2. So with the double play, we did not go to the pinch hitter, and Crowley is still on. And Claudell Washington with a 6-game hitting streak and 2 straight hits tonight and a run scored. A ball from Crowley. Montreal leading Carlton and the Phillies 3-1. Mike Vail in his new uniform hit a home run in that first inning off Carlton to get the Expos off and running. A strike called to Claudell, and it is a ball and a strike. Pittsburgh and Cincy, no score. Big left-hander Candelaria against Soto, a right-hander. They're in the 5th inning and scoreless. Bouncer up the middle, and he's 3 for 3.
We have not done very well against the 3rd and 4th hitter tonight, a combined 5 for 5. And when these guys start hitting the ball, they can score lots of runs in this park, which is why they were 13-3 against right-hand pitchers at home coming into tonight. As you see Washington's 3rd hit go up the middle, no chance for Junior Kennedy to flag that one down.
All right, now here is Murphy. He's had a double, a single, a run batted in, and a run scored. Washington at first edging, not going. Pitch is a little low, a ball. Washington stole a base in the 3rd inning. It was his 10th of the year. Crowley taking a look around. Murphy's up in there with a 1-ball, no strike count. Washington at first base, leading it off with a single. Too close to Murphy, and it's 2-0.
Dale Murphy, 6'5", 215, with all the power you'd want. Usually a good center fielder. Misplayed a ball earlier, but that's not the rule for him. He can go get him out there.
That ball took a goofy bounce on him, though, didn't it? He leaned down and looked like it and jumped up over him. There's a strike, and it's 2-1.
You've got to round the ball off a little bit sometimes, Milo, on those balls, and that one he went straight at. And it took a skip because it was a line drive. He should have recognized that a little bit earlier and just bounded by him for the triple. But we'll take it, as we'll have to take a few more tonight because their offense looks like it's pretty well pumped up.
All right, right, 2 balls and a strike. Runner at first with a lead. He's going. There's a foul back. Joe Torre's had some things in mind here tonight. His ball club having trouble against the Cubs, having lost the first 3. They've been having a little trouble scoring runs. So he's tried to manufacture some tonight with some base path activity.
Well, they haven't hit a home run in 10 ball games. They only have 31 for the year. And they've got speed at the top of the order. Butler, Ramirez, and Washington all are good base stealers with 8, 9, and 10 stolen bases respectively.
All right, he's ready again. And he'll check him this time, and he gets back in time. Detroit beat Minnesota 7-4 in the first of 2 at the Motor City. Blyleven and Cleveland leading Keeson and the Angels 3-1 in the 4th. Boston leading Toronto 1-0 in the 6th. Oakland over the Yankees 2-0 in the 3rd. Here it is 5-3, Braves over Cubs. Another throw to first, but Washington's back. Milwaukee leads Seattle 3-0. They played an inning, and the White Sox are leading Texas 2-0 after 2. Bill Frink, of course, will have all of those for you on the sports, on the news, after the game on Channel 9. Breaking pitch inside. Full count.
Be a good time to strike him out and throw him out because you know Washington's going to be going. Jody Davis gets a pitch he can handle. Might see another double play right here.
All right, Washington has his lead. He's going. A high bouncer third. Say has to back up. It'll take a great play to get him, and he did. Boy, I tell you, Washington kept right on running. Good base running. But twice here tonight, infielders falling away. Boa on Ramirez in the first, and now stay on Murphy and still got him. Here it is.
Takes a good throw by Ron Cey, and Claudel Washington never broke stride. He was off with the pitch. He hit second base and coasted easily into third, and that's good heads-up base running. That's how you manufacture runs when you're not hitting the long ball.
Now here is Horner to bat against the drawn-up infield. Horner was the victim of a sizzling line drive caught by Cey in the first inning with 2 runners in scoring position. Line drive hit to left field. That will make it 6-3. And Horner has an 8-game hitting streak.
And Milo, Mike Crowley did not look ready to me when he came in the ball game. He had a short warm-up, and I still believe he's suffering from that. Sometimes when you come into the game a little too early, as we watch Horner's base hit to left field, you just never get your feet on the ground. You never establish your rhythm, and Mike Crowley is struggling. The sinker is not working very well tonight. And his breaking ball is up in the strike zone as we look at Bob Watson and a jubilant Atlanta dugout.
Here is Chambliss. A ball. His opposite field slicing double in the 3rd inning was the knockout punch against Rainey. It was a 2-run double. He later scored their 5th run after driving in runs 3 and 4. Our bullpen is working. It's Brewster, and a strike to Chambliss with Horner at first. So batting streaks by Washington, Murphy, and Horner and Benedict have all been moved up a notch here tonight. Only Ramirez 0 for 3 has failed to advance. 5 hitters in your lineup with batting streaks that are current. So they've had people on base. A ball, and it's 2-1.
And Lee Elia would rather not use Warren Brewster this inning. He'd love to get a shot at a pinch hitter next inning. For that to happen, Mike Crowley's got to bear down and get these guys out right now. He can't afford to let any more runs come home.
Smashed on the ground. Kennedy has only one play. That's first base. He took a token look to second. Knew he couldn't get Horner. It's 2 away. And one of the things about it, if Elia were forced into make a move in this inning, the chances are he'd do a flip-flop. And it'd probably be, well, I saw Morales trot down. The last out, well, was made by Kennedy, so maybe it wouldn't be Morales at that.
And it looks like manager Joe Torre decided that, boys, we're going to run tonight because Bob Horner, not necessarily a fleet member of this ball club, was on the move and kept him out of a double play ground ball right there.
This is Hubbard. Strike 1. Ball game is in the 4th inning. We're in the 4th, and it feels like we played 9 innings already. there's been that kind of activity on the bases.
So what you're saying, Milo, is Jay Johnstone's night depends on Mike Crowley's pitching right now.
0-1. Smashed foul. Oh, even when they hit it foul or hit it out, they're hitting it hard. That ball that Horner hit to Say in the first inning with runners at second and third was lopsided before it ever got to Say.
It sure was. Unfortunately, it went right at him, and we saw the ball boy make a fine play right there. The ball bounced high up on his chest. He's got a future in this game.
No balls, 2 strikes. You can see all the participants right there. Horner at second, Crowley facing Hubbard. Sinker low, and it's 1-2. The Cardinals in Houston have played an inning in the Astrodome. No score. Andujar and Rule. Cincinnati breaks out of a tie at home with the Pirates, leading 1-0 now, going to the 6th inning. Bouncer to Say. Great big hop off the natural grass. Throws on to Buckner, and the side has been retired. But Atlanta adds a run. Horner drove in Washington. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave a man. And after 4, Braves have doubled it. They lead 6-3.
Now there's a place besides Murph's to get quality 76 gasoline. 76 self-serve mods. But they've got more here than gasoline.
What would be, Murph?
Ah, a loaf of bread, a jug of milk, and now besides me, Rosie.
Sweet talker.
At self-serve mods, you can fill up your tank, stock up on groceries, and use your 76 credit card.
Well, Murph, are you going to say those words I'm longing to hear?
I sure am, Rosie. Charge it.
Go with the spirit.
At self-serve mods.
The spirit of 76.
Look how water can destroy unprotected wood, but none of it's protected with Thompson's Water Seal. Use Thompson's Water Seal waterproofer on dozens of surfaces. Brush on Thompson's for an invisible barrier that helps prevent water from entering and damaging brick, wood, and concrete. Now, get the waterproofing protection of Thompson's Water Seal in a beautiful variety of natural wood tones with Thompson's Water Seal stains.
It usually happens late in the day. Your underarm alarm goes off, telling the world you need odor protection that keeps going as long as you do.
You should have used Old Spice.
Old Spice deodorant kills odor-causing bacteria and protects for 24 hours.
Happened to me at a party last night. You should have used Old Spice.
Old Spice helps stop underarm alarm for 24 hours.
Check Sunday, June 5th newspapers for these money-saving coupons from Old Spice.
As we go to the 5th in Atlanta, Nordhagen, Wayne Nordhagen, will be batting for Crowley. So Pascual Perez, who fell behind, now finds himself with a 3-run lead. Nordhagen. Then you go up to the top with Boa and Johnstone. So you got to start clawing back. You can't expect to get them all at once. You'd like to bite into that 3-run lead here. This is Nordhagen. And the first pitch to him is a ball. Nordhagen just missed playing in this ballpark as a Brave. One spring training in West Palm, he'd been told that he had the club made. High bounce foul left side, 1-1. Then opening day, they decided to send him to AAA until they could make up their mind about the roster. He never got here.
I've seen it happen a lot. They picked Rick Ruschel off the plane on the way coming north and asked him to go to AAA.
High foul back out of play over here to the left.
Imagine sitting on an airplane waiting to go up north and start the season in the major leagues, only to have the general manager come walking down the aisle and say, excuse me, son, but there's an adjustment been made. Now you'll have to pitch in AAA. Take your bags off and go back and get them.
That would be a sinking feeling. A little dribbler off the end of the bat. Perez over near the line. Throws on to Chambliss. So Nordhagen, as a pinch hitter, fails in this instance. Thrown out by the pitcher, and it's 1 away in the 5th. Larry Boa is 0 for 1 tonight. Reached on a walk in the 3rd. Scored along with Johnstone on a Buckner triple. Buckner now has had 7 hits in the last 3 nights. So maybe he's hot. Foul that one off. No balls and a strike. The Cubs have been out-hit 11-6 and outscored 6-3. One error. It belongs to Claudell Washington, the Atlanta right fielder. A let-up, and he's trying to guide it through the left side. Ramirez got to it, couldn't handle it, but the fact that he got leather on it was amazing.
It was a great play, and he was about to make the throw, and then he juggled the ball. He's got some great range, and we saw it right there going into the hole. The backhand, a difficult ball. No chance to get Larry at first.
So Boa gets his first hit tonight in his third of the series, and Jay Johnstone, who had a base hit in the third and drove in a run and later scored a run himself, will be stepping in to face Pascual Perez. 6-3 Atlanta. They're trying to even the series. Throw to first, not close on Boa. Boa, who this year in the 83 season will claim a couple of milestones. He's sure to get his 2,000th hit, and he's sure to get his 300th stolen base. He's only 3 shy in the stolen base department. A strike on the hands of Johnstone. Boy, Perez is wound up like a banjo string. 0-1. Buckner due up next. Line foul down the right side. A fan with a glove, and now instead of getting a hand, the Boo Birds are after him. See, you can't please everybody. The ball boy just made a friend of everybody and gave him the souvenir.
Well, after he battled him for the ball, I guess the only thing left when you have a stadium with about 20,000 fans booing you is to reach over and give him the baseball and make a lot of friends.
0-2. Wasted it away to the Jaybird, and it's 1-2. Johnstone, 273 batting average. Had a couple of RBIs here in this series. Hit a home run last night that was just about as long as you're going to see him hit one. Way over the center field wall. There's a little popper out into shallow left center. Texas League single will drop. Boa will streak to third. So let's see if we've got something up for Buckner here with runners on the corners and only one away.
And Jay's bat went down the first baseline, and the ball was dumped into left center field. Watch this swing right here. Not exactly a picture swing as the handle goes flying off the end of the bat, but effective as Johnstone has his second base hit of the night, and that will send Rick Behena back into the Braves bullpen as Bob Gibson is coming out to talk to Perez, who is struggling to pitch 5 innings and be able to be credited with this win.
Behena's pitched a game in the bullpen already.
He's been up 3 times, and I know one thing, that man is ready.
A little conference with Gibson and Benedict, Perez, and the shortstop Ramirez. And plate umpire Crawford started out, and that broke it up. So Boa and Johnstone are on for Billy Buckner. Hey, wouldn't this be a good spot for Buck to go for 4-bagger first time this year? He is overdue to stroke one. And this is the perfect launching pad to hit one in.
And Ron Cey swung the bat very well before he hit his first home run, and now he's hit a bunch of them after that. And he looks approximately like Bill Buckner does right now, hitting the ball very hard to all fields. It's just a matter of time till the power comes back into Bill Buckner's bat.
Boa third, second base empty. Johnstone first, 1 down. Fly ball with any depth could get you a run. A base hit could keep something going. Long ball could make it a new game. And a ball outside to Billy Buck. Buckner is 2 for 2 tonight, a single and a 2-run triple. 5 for 7 in this series. And 4 runs batted in. Might as well keep adding to those totals, Billy Buck, and get us back in this thing. Smash foul. Boy, he got around just too quickly.
A good slider by Perez, and that's what the slider will make you do when it's right. It looks like a fastball coming on the inside corner, and then all of a sudden it darts inside, and the only place you can hit that ball is foul, which is what Buckner did.
A ball and a strike. Buckner going to wait him out a moment here. Durham is due up next. So let's see if we can strike while the iron is hot. Runners on the corners for Buckner. Only 1 down. Fouled back. up above the press box to our left, and it's 1-2 to Buckner. Johnstone has had 2 hits, Buckner 2 hits, Moreland 2 hits. So there's 6 of the 8 right there. Rainey had 1. In fact, he ignited the 3-run inning in the 3rd. But his pitching wasn't as good as his batting tonight. He's gone. And now it's up to Buckner to try to get us right back in it, trailing 6-3. And Buck thought he made him wait too long. Going to make the young right-hander wait on him a bit. Everybody set. Oh, he almost threw it away. Did Benedict make a quick reaction?
We saw just how quick Bruce Benedict is right there. Was a breaking ball about 1.5 feet outside. Benedict came out on the shin guard, moved across and made the stop, and that saves some trouble as we take a look once again at the right-handed Rick Bahena.
Seeing the runners at 3rd and 1st, Boa and Johnstone. A 2-2 pitch on the way. Swinging in a base hit into center field. Buckner is hot. Boa's home, and it's a 2-run game. Boa scored, Johnstone to second, Buckner with his 3rd straight hit, his 6th hit in 2 nights, and his 8th hit in 3 nights, and Joe Torre is on his way.
That's going to be all for Pascual Perez, and it's a pleasure to see Bill Buckner swinging the bat. I know how well he can swing it. I threw a 5-hitter against the Dodgers one day. Buckner got 4 of them, and he hit everything that I threw as he did tonight to Pascual Perez. And we're going to see Rick Bahena, the 6'2", 170-pound right-handed rookie, as Pascual Perez gets a good hand by these fans in Atlanta. He's been 5-1, throwing the ball very well, so they appreciate his efforts. A rocky performance for him tonight. He cannot get the win. He cannot get the loss, so he'll be credited with a no decision. And Bahena is 3-2 this year with a .438 earned run average. This is his 9th appearance. He has started 5 of those games. He has pitched 24 2/3 innings, given 21 hits, 2 home runs he's given up, 10 bases on balls, 7 strikeouts, and he'll be asked to quell the rally, but he's going to face Leon Durham, and he's got a chance to take him out of the ball game and put the Cubs 1 run up.
So all the possibilities are there for you as Pascual Perez worked 4 1/3. Well, you kind of had the feeling in the first 2 innings that it will be a miracle if either side would have a pitcher go any length of time in this game, didn't you?
It just felt like an offensive ball game today, and that was unusual because they had both of their aces going. Rainey has been our best pitcher, and Perez, although he has not had the best record on their ball club, that belongs to Craig McMurtry. He's still throwing the ball very well, but we beat him last time. We hit him very well here tonight, and there's a lot of fireworks in Atlanta.
All right. Remember, speaking of fireworks, there'll be some fireworks in the way of a holiday game Monday at Wrigley Field. When the Cubs return from this road trip, they'll be facing the Houston Astros, and it'll be Sports Bag Day. All you fans age 14 and over will receive a large Cubs sports bag, and that'll be Monday, Memorial Day, May 30th. So get your tickets and welcome the Cubs home on Monday. Here is Durham. He's hit into a force play and struck out swinging. He really went after a couple of bad balls on 2 of the swings and misses on his strikeout. He went after a ball almost in the dirt. Then he chased a ball that was up and away. So let's see if he's got his eye now against the new pitcher, Bahena. Inside a ball.
And Bahena throws all 4 pitches. He doesn't throw exceptionally hard, but he's got a pretty good slider and throws a changeup. Right here, he's going to have to go right at Durham. He can't play around with him. I don't believe he's the reliever type. He's got a future as a starter. He'll be out of that bullpen just as soon as he gets his feet on the ground.
1 ball, no strikes. Too close again, and it's ball 2. Johnstone at second. Buckner at first. And the bull. Opportunity knocking for Leon Durham. Cubs are on the short end of a 6-4 game. He could turn that around. Check of the runners. Strike. He got enough of the corner. Every pitch, he's worked inside to the bull here.
He doesn't want to let Leon get his arms out. He saw Leon hit the ball into the left field seats in Wrigley. He's got great power to the opposite field.
Here's the 2-1. Too close, and it's ball 3. Boy, the pattern on him is not hard to digest, is it? He just keeps coming at him inside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And this is going to be a fastball if it has any part of the plate. Leon Durham is going to take a good rip at it.
He did. He's going to drive it down into the right field corner. Johnstone will score. Buckner is going to be held at third. It's a 1-run double for the Bull. So it's a 6-5 game. Johnstone scored from second. Buckner's into third. Durham gets his first hit of the night. It's a double. It drives in a run, and we are right back next to the Braves.
And you don't get much mileage out of 3-1 fastballs, except if you're a hitter. And in this case, Leon Durham smokes a double to right field. You see a fastball, inner half, not quite on the inside corner. And there it is, right up against the Dodger sign. This is going to put runners on second and third.
And Ron Cey, who's flied to center and flied to left. Runners at second and third, and there's only 1 away. So the Cubs have an inning in the making. They've scored 2. They're only down by a run. A strike over the outside corner. Ron Cey back into action tonight after missing the final game at Houston and the first game here last night. Got a thigh pull in his right leg. He wasn't sure he could make it back tonight, but he's in there battling it. So far tonight, 0 for 2. This would be a good spot to break back in. Donnie Moore has started to throw in the Atlanta bullpen. Off speed with that one, and he missed with it, and it's a ball and a strike. Is that a straight change, or did you take something off a breaking ball?
No, that was a curveball, and Donnie Moore is more accustomed to this type of appearance than is Behena. Moore is a reliever. Behena, a starter. It's tough to make the conversion.
Came over the top that time, and it stayed inside to the Penguin. 2 balls and a strike. So our hitters have had some opportunities in this inning to hit their pitch, haven't they?
When you fall behind, the pitcher has to throw a ball in the strike zone. A youngster especially has a tendency to throw a fastball in the strike zone, and these guys just wait for that.
2-1. Oh, he bent one, did he ever? 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2 runs are in. 4 straight hits. Nordhagen, the pinch hitter, bounced to the mound. But since then, Boa singled, Johnstone singled. Buckner got a hit and drove in a run. Durham doubled and drove in a run. Now it's up to Cey to keep the inning going. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Low outside. Now he'll be sitting on a payoff.
Well, the 23-year-old youngster from Miami, Florida, right here, should be throwing a breaking ball. He's got first base open. Ron Cey, a good fastball hitter. If he throws him a hittable fastball, I believe he's making a mistake. He set up the double play. That's the worst he can do, is put him on first base.
Swings and sends a high fly ball deep left center. Murphy back, and he'll make the play on the warning track. Buckner will come home. Durham will move over to third. Durham now would represent a go-ahead run because we're tied, but Cey just didn't quite get it all. But boy, he threw a scare into this crowd.
And he did throw the curveball, but it stayed up. As we see right here, a bit of a hanger. Ron Cey went and got it and hit this ball as far as you can hit it and still keep it in the ballpark, as we see Murphy drifting back. And that one's going to take Chuck Rainey off the hook. We've got ourselves a tie ball game as we see Leon Durham scampering into third base.
So Moreland, 2 for 2, got a chance to put us in front. We led it one time, 3-1. A bullseye, and it's 0-1 to Zonk. He's had a pair of singles tonight, and the go-ahead run in the person of Durham is 90 feet away. It's up to Moreland to get him home. A bouncer to short, backhanded by Ramirez, throws, got him out of the inning. But the Cubs come back with a 3-spot. On 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Weren't any errors, 1 man left, and after we have played into the middle of this one, 4.5 innings, it's the Cubs 6 runs on 10 hits, the Braves 6 runs on 11 hits.
We always run faster together. Maybe it's the baton. Maybe it's the way we push each other.
A shocking thing about the Office of the Future is the sound of it. So at Exxon Office Systems, we created the Exxon 965 inkjet printer. It can print just about anything as fast as 90 characters per second, and it's incredibly quiet. Now the automated office will never sound the same again. For more information, call 800-327-6666. Exxon Office Systems. It's the future without the shock.
I wanted giant screen TV.
But I didn't want a giant screen taking over my living room.
Look what Zenith built.
By remote control, the screen rises from the fine furniture cabinet. Zenith presents Space Screen 45, more than 3 times the area of a 25-inch screen, yet the picture is sharper than ever before in home projection TV. And only Zenith has the screen that disappears.
So I get my living room back.
New Space Screen 45. Only Zenith has it.
Well, Warren Brewster is on. He's going to look at the bottom 2 men in the order, but that's a little misleading because Benedict, although he's batting 8th, might be the hottest hitter on their club right now.
And he hit the ball very hard to left field last time up. Didn't get a base hit. Hitting .333 coming in as we look at Brewster. 0-1, 549 earned run average, making his 15th appearance. Pitched 19 2/3 innings, 26 hits. He does not have a save yet. 7 strikeouts, 8 bases on balls. And the fans in Atlanta tonight have certainly gotten their money's worth. Not only are we close to the 2-hour mark in this ball game, but they've seen 12 runs and 21 hits.
Here is Benedict. Got a hit in the 2nd inning and later scored on a wild pitch. 3rd inning lined out hard to Johnstone. He's 1 for 2 tonight. And the first pitch is a strike from Warren Brewster. Benedict has a 10-game hitting streak. Braves batting in the 5th. It's been a seesaw affair. A little tight at the knees, and it's 1-1.
Some greetings from Ron Schaefer and David Deerroth from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Watch our games on cable, I'm sure. There's a ball, and it's 2-1.
They tell me the San Diego Chicken is in Knoxville tonight, but they'd rather watch the Cubs on cable.
Oh, boy. So tonight the Chicken laid an egg. 2 balls and a strike. Bouncer, short. Great big hop. Boa had to jump. Fires and gets him because the ball was hit so hard, he had a chance to come down and play it. You know, that play that Boa made on Ramirez in the 1st inning is still unbelievable to me because Ramirez can run. The ball really played Boa, and he was clear on the outfield grass and set up and got enough. Now, that's all unbelievable to begin with, but the fact that he got it by such a wide margin really made it an unbelievable play.
I don't think Ramirez was able to get out of the box, and the thing that I was impressed with was Larry Boa never really had a chance to set his feet, and he made a good, solid throw from the grass without setting his feet and threw out Ramirez by 2 steps. So either Ramirez wasn't hustling or Larry Boa has suddenly got that rejuvenated right arm going again.
And then Say made a similar kind of a play in the 4th inning on Murphy. So we've had a little of everything for you here tonight. 6-6 tie wherever you are, whatever you're doing on a Friday night. Hope you're enjoying it on Cubs television. There's a looping liner by Bahena, and it drops in for a hit. Moreland going to throw to first base. Hey, that was worth a shot. Moreland charged that ball in good shape. Figuring maybe Bahena, not used to being on base much, might have taken it for granted, and he took a shot at him at first.
And we're seeing offense out of everyone, but this could have been pretty much of an embarrassing situation for the rookie, as Moreland comes in with that good arm and fires a strike to first base. Fortunately, Bahena was hustling down the first base bag, or that would have been something he could have told his grandchildren about.
So Bahena's at first. Now here's the top of their order with Butler. Fouled off down the left side into the picnic area by Butler, who is 1 for 3 tonight.
And Bahena was hitting .250 coming in, 2 for 8, so he's hitting .333 now, and that's pretty good stick work for a pitcher.
Joe Torre knew something. I think you expected him to be lifted, especially with Donnie Moore ready. There's a ball, and it's 1-1.
I expected Donnie Moore, who's more accustomed to relief pitching, to come on in the ball game, but Joe Torre obviously knows that there's a couple of afternoon games. He doesn't want to tire out his bullpen going into tomorrow afternoon, so he decided to let Vahena throw some more.
There's a bouncer by shortstop Boa into left field. They've got runners at first and second. He went to the opposite side. Boa was shaded toward the second base bag, couldn't get back to hit it off.
And Butler's done that a couple of times. A slicing ground ball just eluding Larry Boa at shortstop, putting runners at first and second with only one out.
4 hits in 2 nights, so Butler putting on a show for the home folks in Libertyville. And that'll bring up Ramirez. He is 0 for 3. Had a bid for a hit taken away in the first inning by Boa. Since then, he has struck out swinging and flied to center. 2 on, 1 out, 5th inning. Score tied 6-6. The Braves have 13 hits. And a strike is in there on Ramirez. Washington due up next.
They've got 13 hits, Milo, and we're not through the 5th inning yet.
Well, bats that weren't delivering for them are now. There's a foul way down the right side. Back into the seats, and it's 0-2 to Ramirez. Brewster, who is a sinker pitcher, needs to get an effective one here and see if he can go for the double play and keep them from going back in front. 1 out, 2 on. Brewster, our third pitcher, fouled it down the left side, and it's still 0-2. To the count. Brewster not satisfied with the way he's coming off that mound, going to fill that hole in a little bit. That'll happen especially on a night where several pitchers have worked. There's a different way they dig it out, and the pitcher got to fill it back in for himself. There's a bouncer toward Kennedy. He is going to tag that runner. He wanted to make the double play, but that runner ran away from him, and that Butler saved them from making the double play.
A little bit of an error right there in judgment on the part of Junior Kennedy. If he gets rid of the ball as he's chasing the runner back, you can turn a pair here. Watch it right here. He's chasing Butler back. Now's the time to throw to first. They'd have had Butler hung up in a rundown. As it was, he waited to tag Butler, and when he did that, Ramirez streaked across first base, and we still have runners at the corners facing a tough Claudell Washington, who is only 3 for 3 tonight.
Yeah, it's tough to give a guy hitting like Washington now a chance to hurt you. But here he is with runners on the corners. Vahena's at third. Ramirez at first. 2 down. Up to Washington, and it's a ball. He singled in the first, singled in the third, stole a base, singled again in the fourth. He has scored 2 of their 6 runs in a game that shows us tied at 6-6. Vahena at third. Ramirez at first. Claudell Washington waiting on a 1-0. Did he go around? Yes, he did, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. So Atlanta batting in the 5th. They led 1-0. Cubs led 3-1. Braves won in front 4-3. Then 5-3. Then 6-3. Then the Cubs tied it with 3 in the 5th. And that's the way it's gone here tonight. Lowe with his sinker, and it's 2-1.
Looks like the booth is filled with Hamiltons tonight, Milo. Everywhere I look, there's more Hamiltons.
Well, then you know something I don't. 2 balls and a strike. Throw to first, not close.
I was looking at Arnie's wallet.
Oh, I see. He's always got those old pictures, hasn't he? Runners take their leads at first and third. Brewster taking a long time. He needs an out. The 2-1 to Washington. Foul down the right side behind first base coach Sonny Jackson. Vahena will turn to third. And Ramirez walking back toward first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Brewster trying to hold them where they are. He doesn't want Atlanta to jump back in front. Washington waiting. He's swinging a good bat tonight. 3 for 3, and here's the pitch. A bouncer to Kennedy, and Brewster will be out of a jam. So Kennedy throws out Washington. First time they've stopped him tonight. No runs and 2 hits, no errors and 2 left. We've played 5, and we're tied at 6.
It's not just a race. It's a game. If they think I'm tired, maybe they'll make their move. Then I'll make mine.
Bring out your best.
You gotta reach deep inside.
Bring out your best.
Come on, bring out that pride.
Bring out your best.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it. Budweiser Light.
Bring out your best.
Budweiser Light.
Bring out your best.
Budweiser Light.
Bring out your best.
The best. You found it in yourself, and now you've found it in the beer you drink.
Pulsar Quartz introduces the Wizard, the world's first and only quartz watch with data displays right on the crystal. At a touch, the date and time appear at home and in 26 zones around the world, plus alarm and professional chronograph. The Wizard has more timekeeping functions than any other watch, and only Pulsar has the Wizard.
Pulsar quartz watch is available at fine jewelry and department stores.
We go to the 6th in Atlanta. Milo Hamilton and Steve Stone. And if you like to see a lot of runs, you're looking in at the right spot tonight, aren't you? The hint is still on, and he'll be looking at Jody Davis, who's looking for his first hit in the series and takes a strike. I want to remind you again of the David M. Wilson Memorial Golf Outing and Dinner. It'll be Monday, June 27th at the Indian Lakes Resort, and that is in Bloomingdale, Illinois. A ball and a strike. They'll tee off at 7 in the morning, and if they can all get around, they'll have dinner together at 7 at night. A ball and a strike. Breaking pitch again. He misses with it. 2-1. Some WGN personalities will be there. If you'd like information on the David M. Wilson Memorial Golf Outing and Dinner, call 827-4272. The 2-1. There's a drive back into left field, and it is gone. Jody Davis, who owned this ballpark and the Braves last year, tees off on his night. It's Gainesville, Georgia night. 3,000 strong from Jody's hometown, and he's given them the home run trot.
And I think, Milo, that's why I was surprised to see Behena still in there. When you're not accustomed to relief, it's a whole different world than starting pitching. He made a mistake right there, and Jody Davis took advantage of it. And when he hits the ball hard, it goes out of the ballpark. And he put us ahead right here, so we'll take another look at it. It's a fastball up and in that doesn't quite get up and in far enough. That's the 7th run.
And Dan Cotter and the folks at True Value ring that cash register, $100 for Cubs Care. There is a check swing. He really was trying to get away more than anything else. Fouled it down the right side. And they've got a big left-hander throwing in their bullpen.
He's a very big left-hander. That's
bigger than I've ever seen him.
He's as big as you want to be. Ex-Chicago White Sox and ex a lot of other ball clubs, but he's throwing the ball great down here in Atlanta.
Junior Kennedy with a 1-2 count. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Bounced into a double play the last time up. The 1-2 from Behena. He struck him out. He challenged him upstairs and got away with it. It's his first strikeout. It's the second strikeout of a Cub in the game. And Brewster now, since we're back in front, will bat for himself.
When you don't play a great deal, you have a tendency to have a floating strike zone. If you come off the bench every now and then, you really have no idea where the strike zone is. You saw it right there. Kennedy swung at a pitch over his head for strike 3.
Strike to Brewster. We're in the 6th inning, and the Cubs are back in front. Second time they've led tonight. They've gotten up off the deck here tonight. They fell behind by 3 and now lead by 1. And another strike to Warren Brewster. Montreal leading Philadelphia and Carlton with Sanderson 3-1. Cincinnati pounding the Pirates 8-0 in the 7th. Strike 3 called. He just reared back and fired the ball by Warren. If that score on their scoreboard here is correct for Cincinnati, they've made either one of 2 mistakes. Either the score is wrong or they haven't lifted Candelaria's number from the scoreboard, because I can't believe he is still in there with an 8-0 game. Bouncer to Hubbard. It's easy. Go after the homer. Bahena was tough, but Jody Davis broke the tie. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th with the Cubs in front by a run.
If you're loaded down with yard work, let True Value Hardware Stores help lighten the load with this easy-to-maneuver homeowner's wheelbarrow. For bigger jobs, get True Value's heavy-duty wheelbarrow with a seamless steel tray. Or choose the large-capacity lawn cart with a tough steel frame. And you can load up to 300 pounds on this True Value hand truck. Available at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
Why do Chicago business travelers choose United?
I appreciate a fine collection, whether it's a collection of rare Oriental porcelain or the most advanced aircraft in the sky. And that's why I appreciate United's collection of 767s to LaGuardia.
United now offers 10 daily flights to LaGuardia, including 5 767s.
United 767. It's a real work of art.
People who fly for a living fly United's friendly skies.
For about 10 cents a day, you can belong to one of the most respected motor clubs in America, the AAA Chicago Motor Club. To join, dial 312 the club.
In the bottom of the 6th, Warren Brewster now with a 1-run lead. He's our 3rd pitcher tonight, following Rainey and Proley. Murphy, Horner, and Chambliss due up in the Atlanta 6th. Remember now, a week from tomorrow, that's Saturday, June 4th, when the Pirates will be at Wrigley Field, it's the 2nd annual Cubs Hall of Fame Classic. 2 clubs will be managed by Charlie Grimm and Lou Boudreau. Greats like Billy Herman, Augie Galland, Ron Santo, Andy Pafko, Don Kessinger, Peanuts Lowry. That's just a few of the former Cub greats, and they'll play another team of Major League greats immediately preceding the Cubs game against the Pirates. Gates open at 10:30 a week from tomorrow at Wrigley Field. Here is Murphy, 2 for 3, and it took a great play in the 4th inning by Say, or Murphy'd be 3 for 3, as Washington was earlier. So here is Murphy, a double, a single, a run batted in and a run scored, and a ground rule double cost him another RBI.
And it's fun to watch these seesaw games every now and then. The pitching staff doesn't appreciate him, but the fans get a kick out of them, and offensive baseball is interesting baseball.
A ball to Murphy. Well, you had to buy a program in this ballpark tonight to be able to keep up with things. 1 ball, no strikes. Brewster's pitch. He caught enough of the corner to get the call that time, and it's 1-1.
And Forster continues to throw in the Atlanta bullpen, and even though it'll be a rarity if they get down to the pitcher's spot, perhaps that's going to be all for Rick Bahena.
A high fly ball down the right side. Is it going to hang up long enough, or will it even be playable? Nope, it kept drifting over past the bullpen. Moreland made a good long run. So did Buckner and Kennedy. It just didn't stay up or stay in where they could make a play.
And it appeared that Keith Moreland ran for about a week to get to that ball. He was played around in right center field, and he came over on the fly ball that just barely made it into the stands. That would have been a nice place to retire Murphy, who's always a dangerous hitter.
You want to keep him down to as few swings as you can during a night's work. Brewster waiting for everybody to get back in place. Buckner, Moreland, and Kennedy, they are. And Warren with that big chaw is ready to work again. 2-2. Crowded him with his fastball. Now let's see.
5,838.
Almost 26,000 paid here tonight. They're expecting 40 tomorrow on Dale Murphy Day. The pitch. He struck him out. Boy, did he set him up with that fastball inside on the pitch before.
And he made a great pitch with a changeup, and this is something that Warren Brewster is working on. Let's look at it again right here. It looks like almost a palm ball. Good arm motion, completely fooled Dale Murphy. And that's one of the better pitches I've seen Warren Brewster throw this year. He kept it down. He had a good arm motion, very deceptive, and threw it in a place where Murphy couldn't hit it.
Just a great pitch on a great hitter. This is Horner. He's 1 for 2. He drove in a run in the 4th inning. First pitch to him is a ball. White Sox lead Texas 3-0. They're in the 5th. Now it's 3-1, they tell me. Texas got a run. There's a strike to Captain Bob Horner. A ball and a strike. He is a young captain. Hit him on the fist and popped him on the right side. Kennedy out, and Kennedy's play to make. Junior handled it perfectly, and it is 2 away.
Last year he looked a little like Captain Ahab, but this year he's in pretty good shape, and he's playing very well. He hasn't generated the kind of power yet, but he's got some pretty big RBIs for this ball club, and he's one of the guys they look to consistently to supply power. An improving third baseman also.
Here is Chambliss, the 2-run double in the 3rd, and the pitch is a strike. For the youngsters on Sunday the 5th at Wrigley Field, it's Ragball Day. R-A-G-G-B-A-L-L, Ragball. Not quite like the old song, but it's close enough to call your attention to it. A ball and a strike. That'll be Ragball Day. Free ragballs to all youngsters, 13 and under, coming to the ballpark on Sunday, June 5th. Wrigley Field's going to be busy on the next homestand. Something for everybody and baseball for all. 2 balls and a strike. Nobody on, 2 down. Warren Brewster working in his 2nd inning. The Cubs are leading on a Jody Davis home run, 7-6. Now Jody and Brewster can't get together here, and rather than make a mistake on a guy who's capable of hurting you, and sometimes, I guess, Steve, when you aren't really sure, maybe you don't grip the ball right, or you let go of it in a peculiar fashion, and then you make the mistake.
I think what happened is Warren shook off Jody Davis. Jody went out to tell Warren, this is why I want this particular pitch. And a lot of times the catcher is thinking one thing, the pitcher the other, and so it's best to go out and talk about it so you're both along the same wavelength.
All right, they've done it, and here's the 2-1. Hey, he had the right idea there. Boy, Chambliss really let it all hang out, and he came up empty. Might have taken out a row of seats in right if he'd have hit that one. He really let it rip. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 down. Bottom of the 6th. A high pop down the left side. Say moving, Boa moving, Johnstone moving. Boa has the best angle, and he makes the play. The right fella called everybody off there, Steve.
Would have been a very tough play for Ron Cey. Larry came over alertly, said, I have it, and ended the inning. Watch it right here.
As you watch it, it was a 3-up, 3-down inning. We played through 6. Nice to have been with you, Steve. Keep it right where it is, or get us another 1 or 2. We'll go to the 7th leading by a run.
on, Dad. I didn't need college to know gas is gas.
Not true, son. Gasolines are they're kind of like people. Take Nick there. He's very special. A unique blend of qualities gives him a spirit nobody else has. And 76 gasolines are blended to give them spirit.
Thanks, Dad.
I'll get it.
Hey, Nick, I just learned how spirited our gasoline is.
We are kind of like people. Well, take Murph there. He's very special.
Fill her up with spirit.
Like 76 gasolines, they're blended to give them spirit.
The spirit of 76.
The lowest prices of the year are at Montgomery Ward this week. Save on items for your home and car. Valvoline motor oil, 54 cents a quart when you buy 12 quarts. And save on clothing for your family. Wrangler jeans for men and boys. You won't find lower prices on this quality interior and exterior latex paint, half price. And save $70 on this microwave oven. The lowest prices of the year are at Montgomery Ward this week. Hurry, sale ends Saturday.
Harry Carey and Steve Stone will go to the top of the 7th, and Terry Forster signed as a free agent by the Braves. Hard to believe that Forster is 32 years old. Seemed like only yesterday, Steve, he was with the White Sox at age 19. He and Gossett.
Came up in 1971, and he's found new life here in Atlanta. 0.82 earned run average.
Jay Johnstone will have the distinction of facing the hard-throwing left-hander first, and he takes a strike. Well, nobody can say this is a dull ball game tonight. Everything has happened. 7-6 Cubs. 13 runs, 24 hits in an error so far. Here's a bouncing ball. That'll be easy for Chambliss. 1 out. Here's Buckner, 3 out of 3. And I'm sure that's why Joe Torre, the manager of the Braves, brought in his left-hander, because Johnstone, Buckner, and Durham were the first 3 men up here.
That and the fact that Terry Forster is leading the club in saves with 5. He's making his 17th appearance, and he has been very stingy this year. He's finished 8 ball games, and he seems to have rediscovered that good stuff that we saw him throw when he was with the White Sox.
No home runs have been hit off of him. Bill Buckner. First pitch, ball 1. Buckner has had a great night. 3 runs batted in, 3 out of 3. Swings, and he fouls it back to count even. A ball and a strike. John Tudor, the left-hander, pitching for the Red Sox, allowed Toronto only 1 hit as the Red Sox shut him out 2-0. Now ready. The pitch. A little bit low. 2 balls and a strike. Boy, Brewster can get by another inning or so. We got Lee Smith ready to finish it up. Whoa, he fouled it off his leg. Don't be hurt, Bill. He's okay.
When Terry Forster came into the major leagues, there was another hard-throwing right-hand pitcher for the White Sox. Rich Gossage and Terry Forster combined to provide the White Sox with one of the most fearsome bullpens in the major leagues at the time. Both hard-throwing kids. They're both still in the major leagues, and both still throwing the ball pretty well.
Now ready. The 2-2 pitch to Bill Buckner. He throws his bat at the ball. A little dribbler. Nice play. He is out. Boy, what a play by Hubbard. And Buckner came within an eyelash of having his 4th hit.
And Glenn Hubbard could not get his arm out to throw the ball that time. He knew that he had to flip it. An unusual throw. Watch it right here as Buckner throws his bat at the ball. Watch the flip by Hubbard right here. He can't bring his arm back, and he needs just a little flip. That's all he could get on the ball, and it was just enough as Buckner's still in the air when Chambliss caught it for the out.
Forster's first year was 1971 with the White Sox, and he was only 19 years old. Here's the pitch now to Durham, and it's a slider in there for a strike call. the delivery. Fastball inside. Forster was traded along with Rich Gossage to the Pirates for outfielder Richie Zisk in '76. There's a pitch, foul back and out of play.
That was when I believe both of them had a chance of becoming free agents, Harry, so they decided to send them both to Pittsburgh. And after that one season that Gossage threw there, he became a free agent and went on to the Yankees.
Then Zisk played for the White Sox one year, and then he went on as a free agent, signing with Texas. There's a little tap. Chambliss gives it to the pitcher. Hey, safe! He beat it out. Oh, Durham just absolutely sensationally fast for a big man. He just beat that play.
The mistake right here was on Chris Chambliss. Watch, he gives him a glove toss. Terry Forster just didn't get there. A good call by Doug Harvey right there. And that results in Leon Durham's second base hit of the night, and that was just pure hustle.
Yeah, a lot of guys will say, ah, shucks, I didn't hit that ball hard and trot down there. Not Durham, boy. He gives you 110% every time out. Now here's Ron Cey facing the hard-throwing left-hander Terry Forster. They were teammates last year. There's a line drive in the left center field going to be caught by Butler. That ball just hooked. It was really creamed. No run, one hit, no errors, one left. Got to hold them. We go to the bottom of the seventh. Cubs lead 7-6.
O'Hare Airport, the world's busiest. O'Hare is growing, but in more ways than one. It has become a dumping ground for politically influential haulers, a depositing place for debris from throughout the Chicago area. Dumping carried out in plain view of airport officials who deny it's going on. The story of illegal dumping at O'Hare Airport, the eyesores and dangers it creates, and the story of the people whose lives it affects. I'm John Drury. Watch O'Hare, Airport or Dump, a WGN News investigation tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Exciting Chicago Cubs baseball over WGN Channel 9 in Chicago. We're immediately following. You'll see a comprehensive report of the news. John Drury with Bill Frink on sports. Who does the weather at 9 o'clock now?
Well, Harry, it didn't amount to anything, but I love to see Leon Durham going down the line. You never know when a job of hustle like that can result in 3 or 4 runs. He didn't hit the ball very hard, as you said, but he never gave up. He let it all go and gave Ron Cey an opportunity to come up there and swing the bat, hit the ball very hard. Unfortunately, it was right at Butler in left field.
Tom Skilling will have all the weather news for you also right after the ball game. Here we go with Hubbard leading it off. Warren Brewster with a high earned run average and looking at the ball. This would be a great time for Brewster to come up with a fine performance. The only decision he has is a loss. It's only the 15th game he's appeared in. Hubbard swings, high pop fly. Oh, a few more of those. How sweet it is. One gone. Hubbard on the first pitch was jammed. Going in. That is a sound of great affection as they carry out his name, Bruce, into a long bruise. How about that?
You do that very well, Harry. I was going to ask you,
do it again.
There might be an opening somewhere.
Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball. Larry Bowa to his right. Base base hit. I'm amazed that Larry doesn't cheat more to his right. That's his weak side. I guess they expect him to hit up the middle.
And we're going to see a pinch hitter, a pinch runner, rather, for...
It's like Smith.
Benedict, and it is Smith. And Gene Garber is up in the bullpen, which means we're going to get a pinch hitter also, and it looks like Biff Pocoroba. So manager Joe Torre making a few moves here, one run down, trying to generate something.
Biff Pocoroba. We ought to bring in Bill Campbell to pitch to him. Campbell's ended 2 games for the Cubs by getting Pocoroba for the final out.
Funny you should say that, Harry, because as we speak, Campbell gets up and starts to throw in the Cubs bullpen.
Pocoroba, a catcher, left-hand hitter. Ken Smith, the runner at first, the tying run. There's a strike thrown by Brewster. Pocoroba has had 1 out of 8 this year, a single. Bill Campbell throwing in the bullpen, as Steve just mentioned. And there you see him. Brewster ready. A high pop fly. Coming in for it. Making the catch is Johnstone. Pocoroba pops out. And that puts it up to Brett Butler. Butler's had 2 out of 4 tonight. Warren Brewster keeping us in the ballgame, as a matter of fact, is a pitcher of record at the moment, because the Cubs took the lead after he came into the game. Here's Brett Butler. He doubled twice off the right field screen last night. The delivery. Strike, a good moving fastball. Caught the outside corner. Johnstone is playing him straight away left. They give him a lot of room in left center and in right center. Ken Smith, the runner at first. There goes the runner. Into the dirt to throw. Stolen base. Boy, Smith picked a perfect pitch to Dawn. Brewster threw the ball into the dirt. Jody Davis wasn't sure he had it.
And that's Smith's first stolen base of the year as we watch the pickup by Jody Davis. A difficult ball to handle and release. Smith shows us some pretty good speed, sliding easily into second base.
So now Brewster has got to get the hitter. The tying run is at second base. A ball and a strike. Time call. Let's see now.
Smith's first major league stolen base.
A bullpen ball, I think, got out on the field for a moment. His first major league stolen base. What are they going to do? Give him a bag?
He should come to Monday on bag night in Wrigley Field. Bag day, excuse me.
Yeah, excuse the expression.
Sorry, Dallas.
The pitch. Low into the dirt. He's pressing now, trying to throw a little bit harder. He realizes the game is right at second base. He can get out of this inning. There's Larry Boa coming in now. 2 balls and a strike. Cincinnati murdering Pittsburgh 9-0 at the end of 8. Philadelphia scored a run tonight and trailed 3-1 at the end of 5. Be careful here. 2 balls and a strike. Butler. A high hopper. Boa's throw. Got him! Bang, bang, and he's out. Holy cow. Larry had to wait for the big hop. And then he just threw as hard as he could and just beat Butler, who's a speed demon. Watch it again on the replay as we go out. Just got him. And boy, Buckner's a good first baseman to throw to on that kind of a play. At the end of 7, it's the Cubs 7, Atlanta 6.
Congressman, you know what I like about Murph's?
What is that, Nick?
It's a democracy. People get to vote.
Democracy?
Some people vote for self-serve. They like to pump their own gas and save money.
Save money, I like that.
Some people vote for full serve. They like our domestic policy of cleaning windshields and checking under the hood. The people get to vote. It's a democracy.
Nick?
Yes, sir.
Democracy, eh?
Well, Murph's still Speaker of the House.
Fill her up with spirit.
Full serve and self-serve.
The spirit of 76.
Looks like a great day. What are you going to do?
Play tennis. Get a new swing set.
Anyone want to compare insurance policies? Wait. Allstate could make it worthwhile. And very easy. Just drop off your homeowner's policy at Allstate the next time you're in Sears. We've just reduced rates, so chances are you can save yourself some money. Oh, got good news for you. You do?
He does? Already?
See if Allstate can save you money. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Why do Chicago business travelers choose United? I appreciate a fine collection, whether it's a collection of rare Oriental porcelain or the most advanced aircraft in the sky. And that's why I appreciate United's collection of 767s to LaGuardia. United now offers 10 daily flights to LaGuardia, including 5 767s. United 767. It's a real work of art. People who fly for a living fly United's friendly skies.
Harry Carey and Steve Stone. We have Gene Garber now coming in to pitch, Steve.
And Gene Garber is going to replace Terry Forster on the mound. He is 1-0 this year with a .230 earned run average. He's making his 14th appearance. He has finished 9 ball games. He's got 3 saves. He's given up an abnormally high 21 hits in 15 2/3 innings. But he's thrown the ball pretty well for him, as his ERA would indicate. He's going to lead off by facing Keith Moreland.
Moreland leading off against the little right-hander, and there's a curveball in there for a strike call. He's a curve slider sinker pitcher.
Lee Smith warming up in the Cubs bullpen.
Moreland swung from the heels at that crossfire curveball.
And Gene Garber is the man who stopped Pete Rose's 44-game hitting streak. Threw him a changeup, and Pete Rose was angry, yelling, "Why don't you challenge me?" But I guess you got to get the hitters out. That's the name of the game.
Low and outside. Garber, 36 years old. Still an outstanding relief pitcher. Lee Smith working in the bullpen. High hopper. Going to be a tough play. Harner throws in foul. Harner charging in, cut that ball off, and flipped over to get Moreland. One away.
And you can always tell an offensive or defensive ball club by their home park. We've seen a lot of these high choppers tonight, which means that in front of home plate it's very hard. The groundskeeper keeping it hard because Atlanta has a lot of offensive power. If their team was built on pitching and defense, they would soften it up to kill the ground balls.
1 out, nobody on. There's a sidearm curve to Jody Davis. Jody's home run is the difference. He's only hit on the last 2 nights, but what a big one it was. Outside. There's a guy, doesn't overpower you with his stuff, but he knows what he's doing out there. He hits those spots, keeps the ball down. There's a look at Lee Smith.
Well, he's got a good sinker. He had 30 saves last year, Harry.
Jody Davis swinging for the down.
Also very deceptive on his motion. As you see right here, he turns his back to the hitter on occasion. He really protects the ball. The hitter can't see the ball until it's right up on him, so he doesn't have to throw that hard, and he throws a lot of breaking pitches.
2 strikes and a ball. Jody Davis waiting. Outside, that evens the count, 2-2. Jody with 5 homers now, 16 runs batted in. We're in the 8th. Cubs are leading 7-6. Swings and a foul tip. Cubs are 2-2 on this road trip. Lost 2 out of 3 in Houston. Both losses by 1 run. 1 here last night. The pitch. There's a drive. If it stays fair, it might be. It is. Home run. It hit the screen. Holy cow. Just hit the screen. It was trying to curve foul, but the screen got in its way, thank goodness. And Jody Davis has put on a show for the people from Gainesville.
And the whole town of Gainesville is up on their feet here at the ballpark as Jody Davis trots around one more time. And Harry, every time he trots around, it's getting slower and slower. One of these times, he's liable to get stuck on the bases. But he deserves it, hitting his second home run as we take another look at it right here. A sinker that doesn't sink. Hit the screen.
There's an infield hit by Kennedy.
And once again, we saw one of those choppers that we just talked about. A high hopper over the head of Horner at third base. Nothing in the world Ramirez can do with it, and Junior Kennedy is on at first with a base hit.
I wanted to see that home run hit the screen, but play resumed here. True Value Hardware, Ed Langto and Dan Cotter contribute another $100. For the second time tonight in the fight against cancer. For Cubs Care at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. And Jody Davis responsible for both donations. Here now is Brewster trying to sacrifice. The Cubs are leading 8-6. We're in the 8th. Each team with 14 hits. He's going to bunt. He went fishing after a terrible pitch. And he can't believe it himself.
And Harry, each time it looked like they were going to take out Warren Brewster, Jody Davis hit a home run and kept Warren in the ball game. And this time Lee Smith was up in the bullpen. When Jody hit that one, Lee sat down and Warren came up to bat again.
Here's a pitch. He bunts. There's a good one. That will advance the man. A sacrifice. And I'll put it up to Larry Boa here to pick up an insurance run. Boa is 1 out of 3 tonight. Has scored twice. Cubs are leading 8-6 in an eventful ball game. Everything has happened. The crowd very quiet at the moment. Funny thing on Davis's 2 home runs, you could tell the people from Gainesville, Georgia, they were the only ones cheering. His home is in Gainesville, 40 miles away. He left 50 passes tonight. And there's a strike call. Larry Boa, knowing the importance of that run carried by Junior Kennedy, who was safe on an infield hit. 8-6 in favor of the Cubs. We're in the 8th. Now Garber's delivery. There's a little looping liner to the second baseman for the out. Boa did not hit it hard. Looped the liner to Hubbard, who grabbed it. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Cubs 8, Atlanta 6.
You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Rarely seen hour-long episodes of The Twilight Zone take you into the 5th dimension each Monday night at 8, immediately following Solid Gold, beginning May 30th, right here on Channel 9.
The Suitery's revolutionary markdown policy. Now you can step up to Suitery quality at irresistible prices. Quality suits that make you look good and feel great at a super markdown price. A superior selection of luxuriously crafted suits, including fine wool blends at a super markdown price. Designer concepts, masterfully merging rich fabrics with understated elegance, incredibly underpriced. At the Suitery, where your taste level is more affordable than ever. For the Suitery near you, dial SUITERY. Suitery.
If your transmission ever falls apart, there's only one place you should go to put it back together. AMCO. Why go anywhere else?
With Steve Stone, Harry Carey back at Fulton County Stadium. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Brewster has stopped him since he came into the ball game in the 5th. So he has worked 3 scoreless innings. Now we go into the 8th inning, and the good hitters will be up there. The crowd comes to life. Ramirez will be the hitter. Here's the pitch, swung, and he missed.
It's funny, Harry.
Fouled it back, actually.
On the big scoreboard they have in center field, they put up 2 hands clapping, and then it gets the crowd alive. So it's programmed enthusiasm here in Atlanta.
A little influence. Ramirez. Swung and he missed. He's ahead of him. 2 strikes or nothing. This is as long or longer than Brewster has pitched this year. Bounces that one in front of the plate. Brewster has pitched a total of 19 innings and 14 appearances. Two strikes and a ball. Ramirez, Washington, and Murphy coming up here in the 8th. Low and outside, that evens it up. That's far enough now. Go Gillen.
Lee Smith is back up and throwing. And I'm sure that Lee Elia knows how long Warren Brewster has gone. And he's not going to let him go too far in this inning if he struggles at all.
2 pitch. Line drive right out. Say 1 out. 1 away. Add another one to the total of line drives hit by the Braves this year against Cub infielders or outfielders.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. We've been a little bit of both today, but it's been frustrating for the Braves. They've hit a lot of balls hard these last 2 games. They don't have a whole lot to show for it, although I look up and see 14 hits on the board.
1 out. Here's Claudell Washington. He swings, a little dribbler. Pitcher's going to have to cover the toss. He's out. Claudell's an easy out. 2 gone. I don't see those hands influencing. Yeah, now they come to life with Dale Murphy coming up. Brewster struck him out the only time he pitched to him.
And he made a fine off-speed pitch, a good changeup down, and Warren Brewster has looked very good here tonight. He's changing his speeds very well. Good location, and he's kept Atlanta off balance now in the 4th inning that he's worked.
Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball. There's a base hit. Murphy gets his 3rd hit of the night. A single to center. And here's Bob Horner representing the tying run.
I think this might be it.
Here comes Lee Elia out. He's down now to the last 4 outs, protecting a 2-run lead. And while Brewster has done a tremendous job, this is the time of the game when you got to have your ace in there. And Lee comes out. He's talking to him. Hasn't indicated yet. Now emotion. Boy, a great job done by Brewster. 1, 2, 3 2/3 innings. He allowed 4 hits, but no runs. And Brewster trots off knowing that he has made a great contribution. And if the Cubs hold on, he will be the winner.
Lee Smith is coming on for his 16th appearance of the year. 0-2 with a 127 earned run average. He has finished 13 of those 15 appearances. 21 1/3 innings, only 10 hits, He struck out 14. He's walked 9. And the last time he threw in Houston, he had a little bit of a problem. He was talking about just not getting his strength back after that stay in the hospital. But he says he feels better right now. He'll be asked to protect the 2-run lead, and he'll come on with 2 outs. Murphy at first base, and the dangerous Bob Horner coming to bat.
Horner is 1 out of 3 tonight, driving in a run. I know you as a pitcher, Steve, appreciate the artistry of and the ethereal beauty of a 1-0 or 2-1 pitching masterpiece. But for the enjoyment of the fan, give me this kind of game anytime.
Harry, the only time I like to see the 1-0 game was every 5th day when I pitched. Other than that, it was a pleasure to see runs scoring and guys trotting around the bases and balls leaving the ballpark. But usually that pitching staff gets a little depressed if it happens too often. But this is a fan's game. This is a game that you really have to love because every facet of baseball is displayed here. You see great throws from the outfield. You see home runs and double plays and a lot of men hitting behind the runners and bunts. This is what the game is all about, seeing these guys execute and showing all their talents.
All right, here we are now. Lee Smith to face one of the great sluggers of baseball. Hold everything. The pitch. Slider in there, a beauty, a strike call. Bob Horner digging in. Murphy a lead. Sidearmed him that time. That evens the count, a ball and a strike.
One thing you don't have to worry about, I don't believe, is Murphy stealing. They want to see Bob Horner swing the bat because they know one swing of the bat can tie this game. No chance getting a man thrown out.
Now the delivery. Here it is. Half swing. Tried to check. Strike 2. And now he's ahead of him. The count 1-2. Horner, a free swinger, has a good short compact swing. The delivery. He came from the side after getting 2 strikes on him. A base hit for Horner.
Sometimes when you throw that sidearm crossfire, Harry, you lose track of the control a little bit. Lee Smith doesn't have exceptionally good control with that pitch, and we saw it right there. The fastball was on the inner half. Fortunately, Horner didn't get it up in the air, but he got enough of it to get it into left field. And Chris Chambliss now represents the go-ahead run at the plate.
I've seen Smith hurt so many times with that pitch because here's what happened. He throws the ball crossfire thinking the hitter's going to give ground, and he does. But if he gets the ball inside, it's really to that hitter's strength. Rather than what he was trying to do is crossfire him away, but he got the ball in.
We took a look at Craig Lefferts, who's now throwing in the Cubs bullpen. He just started a couple days ago, but he'll be called on if they need him. But right now, Lee Smith is going to try to put him down right here.
Here's a dangerous clutch hitter. Pops it up. Who's going to get it? Foul territory, John Stone. We're out of the inning. Chambliss going for the downs. Hit a high foul ball down the third base line. Johnstone came over and grabbed it. And so it is no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. They have stranded 12 men in 8 innings, at the end of which it's the Cubs 8, Atlanta 6.
Hey, what's a nice family like the Vengroves doing in a place like this?
We're going on vacation.
The 4-wheel drive Toyota Tercel wagon is on the move again. Destination, fun. Because this Tercel switches from front wheel to 4-wheel drive on command.
There it is!
Wow. And gives the best gas mileage of any 4-wheel drive car. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's also spacious, smooth, tough.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Sodium can turn up where you least expect it. Even in your antacid tablet. Your antacid tablet. If you're concerned about sodium, what antacid do you take? Tums is sodium-free, and it also neutralizes 1/3 more stomach acid than the other leading brand. Tums lets you do without the heartburn and without all that sodium.
Come to McDonald's for the great American meal. The joy of our Big Mac sandwich with 100% pure American beef, our fries of golden U.S. Idaho russet potatoes, and a refreshing Coca-Cola. Then take off for a great America deal with these Fun Bucks. One free with any McDonald's purchase. Every Fun Buck is good for $1 of fun at Marriott's Great America. Save up to $12 a person. A great America deal and a great American meal. Great America, McDonald's, and you.
Harry Carey back in Atlanta we go into the top of the ninth. Jerry Royster now playing third base in place of Bob Horner. Here is Jay Johnstone, and the first pitch is in there for a strike call. Johnstone is 2 out of 4 tonight. He's had big hits in each of 2 scoring innings. The delivery, again at the knees. A sinker for strike 2. Cubs are leading in the ninth, 8-6. Now the delivery, here it is. Inside and high. The Yankees have taken the lead over Oakland, 4-2 at the end of 7. Milwaukee over Seattle, 3-1 at the end of 5. White Sox 3-1 over Texas at the end of 6. There's a ground ball. Hubbard is there. He's got it. Throws to first for the out. Johnstone rolls out. 1 away. Here's Bill Buckner. 3 out of 4 tonight. 6 out of 9 for the 2 games in the series.
And Harry, you have to credit manager Lee Elia with another juggling of the lineup, moving Jay Johnstone into the second spot. And that's provided some offense tonight. He decided to rest Ryne Sandberg. Here we see we've got 8 runs and 14 hits. So the offense certainly has come alive, and a day off for Sandberg at this time is not going to hurt him at all.
1 out, nobody on. Here's Bill Buckner. There's a slow underhanded curveball. Submarine pitch for a strike call. California at Cleveland, they're tied 4-4 in the ninth. Bill Buckner digging in. Looks like he definitely has come out of his slump. 6 hits in the series so far. Now Garber has his sign. Buckner calls time as Garber takes too much time. A battle of nerves between pitcher and hitter. The pitch. There's another. No, great play by Hubbard. Boy, he's really creamed one, and Hubbard made the stop to his left. Can't hit the ball any harder than that.
And he's so close to being 5 for 5 tonight. Glenn Hubbard made a great play last time, coming in a short flip, got him by an eyelash, and that time on a ball ticketed for right field, Hubbard came over to his left and made a fine play.
Here's Durham now. He's 2 out of 4 tonight. He had a cut and he fouled it back. His double in that 5th inning drove in a run, made it 6-5, and Say followed with a sacrifice fly to tie it. Again, he had a good cut, and again he fouled it back. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth, they'll start with Hubbard, and then Benedict, and then Pocoroba. If all goes well, Pocoroba will make the final out for the 3rd time in the 4 games these 2 go. Strike 3 call. Durham knew it. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. That's the first time in this game the Cubs have been retired in order. So we go down to the bottom of the ninth. Cubs leading 8-6. If you have a long list of lawn and garden needs, you'll appreciate the wide selection available at True Value hardware stores. Nelson's Dial-A-Rain sprinkler offers 20 watering patterns. This True Value 60-foot nylon reinforced hose gets water to where you need it. You can have greener grass with True Test Lawn Food. And a large capacity True Value spreader lets you apply fertilizer evenly. Get it at participating True Value hardware store.
Why are more and more new truck buyers selecting Toyota? Value.
Right. Your Toyota dealers got the sport truck with diesel engine efficiency. A truck with 3 across seating that has the biggest standard engine in its class and a 1,400-pound payload. Right now, he's got truck incentives from Toyota that could give you even more truck for your buck. Somebody did it right. Value. Your Toyota dealers got it right.
We go to the bottom of the ninth. Bruce Benedict has left this game, you know. Ken Smith ran for him. So it'll be Hubbard leading it off, the little second baseman. Then a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Gene Garber. And then Biff Pocoroba, who pinch hit in the 7th for the pitcher, Bahena. So he, having stayed in the game to catch, has to hit on that spot. Here's Hubbard. 1 out of 3 for the night.
Now, a lot of managers tell their hitter when they go up in this situation to take a strike. So, Lee, throw the ball over. You got to get ahead of this little guy.
Missed with it outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball 2. That's the worst thing in the world that he can possibly do is to walk somebody. Harper. Terry Harper is going to be the pinch hitter. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Right down the middle. I wish you had done that with the first one. If he hit a homer, you're still ahead by a run. Three, 1 pitch. Strike 2. Now here's the pitch of decision. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Popped it up. Center field. That'll be easy. And Durham has it. Here's Harper going to bat now. Harper batting .270 for the year, 1 homer and 8 RBI.
And a fine job of pitching right there by Lee Smith, who fell behind 3-0 and threw 3 fastballs right down the chute. Glenn Hubbard, who's hitting the ball up in the air tonight the last couple times, has popped it up to center field, and that's a good way to start the last inning. Keep the leadoff man off the bases.
There's a pitch a little bit outside. Bahena is the pitcher of record for them. High pop foul out of play. Terry Harper, the hitter. They have had 16 hits. The Cubs have had 14 hits. Cubs lead 8-6. Curve strike call. And he's ahead of him now, 2 strikes and a ball.
Warren Brewster is the pitcher of record for us. If Lee Smith holds him right here, Warren will pick up a win.
His first of the year. Just missed with that slider. The count all evened up. Here's the pitch he wants to get him on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3 again. He goes to 3-2.
Steve Bedrosian is throwing in the Atlanta bullpen. They've already pinch hit for Garber, so he will come on if they tie it up.
Don't even think about it. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Now, this game has gone on long enough, Harry. It's time to cut all the excitement and just end it right here with 2 more outs.
Pocoroba waiting on deck. Three-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. He chased a high fastball. 2 gone. And here's Pocoroba. This is the 4th game between these two teams. Watch this. But a letter high fastball, huh?
When you throw hard, all you have to do is throw some strikes. That's exactly what Lee Smith is trying to do, but he's having some trouble. Pocoroba, a good man to end the game. We've seen that.
There's a fly ball, right field, Moreland waiting. Cubs win it. And that's a 4th in a row. They have beaten the Atlanta Braves. The Braves have lost only 16 games all year, and 1/4 of them have been in the 4 they've played the Cubs. The Cubs have swept all 4. They won it tonight by the score of 8-6. Had them all the way, Steve.
And look at that, Harry. They're lined up just like it looks like the Stanley Cup. Everybody lined up, congratulating everyone, and that's a happy bunch of Cubs out there right now.
So the final 8-6. The Cubs now have swept 4 in a row from Atlanta, and we'll be back to talk more about it following this.
Coming up next on the news, the city of Chicago forces a hauling contractor to remove illegally dumped debris from O'Hare Field after a WGN News exclusive report citing widespread illegal dumping. Illinois' highest court rules in the case of Walter Polovchek, and both sides are claiming victory tonight.
Vice President George Bush ends his stay in Chicago by reaffirming U.S. support in El Salvador. And will there be a Chicago Fest this summer? Mayor Washington is expected to say no, but the Park District may say yes to Festivals, Inc.
Details on these and other stories next.
When it comes to three-wheelers, the choice is simple. Whether you're picking for work or picking for play, just pick the Honda ATC.
Follow the leader, he's on a Honda.
The irresistible Canon AE-1 program.
John, I'm working. Can I have my camera back? Just one more.
It's hard to put down.
This Canon AE-1 program's super. Just one more.
No matter how tough the light, the program mode makes it easy to shoot like a pro.
Here, get to work.
Canon's AE-1 program. So advanced, it's simple. Canon, the official 35mm camera of the 1984 Olympic Games.
I'm going to Kingsford tonight. I'm really going to do it right. Don't have to fight it. I'm just going to light it. I'm really going to do it right. I'm going to Kingsford tonight. You going to trust that steak to any ordinary charcoal? Get the best. Kingsford fires up fast, easy every time. Get out in Kingsford. Do it right. I can't wait for that first bite. Kingsford tonight. I'm going to Kingsford tonight.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we'll do it.
Fresh. We only serve you plump, wholesome chicken that's just been cooked.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it.
Special. Only original recipe chicken is cooked under pressure with the Colonel's 11 herbs and spices, so the seasonings are squeezed into each juicy bite.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it.
From scratch. We're baking delicious buttermilk biscuits all through the day. Good as yours.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Harry Carey and Steve Stone back at Fulton County Stadium. You know, Steve, it took 2 hours and 57 minutes. You hear people talk about baseball games being too long. Nobody would ever say this game was too long, and you notice not a soul left this ballpark because there was excitement and there was action. And for us, it was a sweet victory.
Well, Harry, nobody could leave because it was a seesaw battle. We fell behind. We came up, we fell behind, we came up, but the most important thing is that we came from behind to win a ball game. We haven't been doing that too much. The offense was certainly there tonight, and it's a pleasure to see Bill Buckner swinging the bat.
Not only that, but another fella that was a pleasure to see perform well was Warren Brewster because, you know, they're going to have to cut somebody pretty soon. And I guess the way Moscow's been coming along and also Lefferts, if it was going to be a pitcher, it looked like the finger might be pointing at Brewster. But the way he looked here tonight, he really kept the Cubs in the ball game and enabled them to win it. As a result, he gets the victory.
Well, he pitched to 2 men the other night, and it looked like he was throwing the ball very well. And tonight, he came out with a fine performance. He's the reason why we were able to hold this club. It didn't look like anybody'd be able to turn him off.
Well, a big crowd on hand, better than 25,000. About 52 of those people were from Gainesville, Georgia, and it was Gainesville, Georgia's favorite son who decided it all. His first home run gave the Cubs a 7-6 lead, and his second home run made it 8-6. Don't go away now because the news is going to follow immediately. Here are the totals quickly. 8-14-0 for the Cubs. The winner is Warren Brewster, now 1-1. Smith gets the save, his 5th of the year. 6-16-1 for the Atlanta Braves. The loser was Rick Bahena. He now is 3-3. Harry Carey and Steve Stone will see at 1 o'clock tomorrow right here on Channel 9. Don't go away now because the news will be following in a moment. Hope you enjoyed the telecast. So long, everybody.
Participating advertisers in Cubs baseball were Budweiser Light. The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it. Zenith and your Zenith dealers who are moving television into the future. United Airlines. People who fly for a living choose United. Canon, so advanced, Canon is the world's leader in 35mm photography. Union 76 and your neighborhood Union 76 dealers who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. Toyota Motor Sales and your Toyota dealers. True Value Hardware Stores. True Value, more than just a name, it's their way of doing business.